God.
This is for all.
I can tell what that is. I can tell what that is.
Yeah, we'll do that. That's a good one.
I am Chris, and I'm joined by. We'll go that. Whoops! I can't point. That way. That way.
Here. Okay. Hi, this is Kuro with the Minute Channel. How's it going?
VCiPz.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, we got an awkward start right now. But what's up, everyone? Yeah, it's me, VCiPz. I'm someone new here. Thank you once again, Chris, getting me onto the ChrillCast today. I really do appreciate it for episode 10 to be here with everyone here. David, Spencer, Kuro, you, of course. It's awesome. Thank you guys for coming through. I was actually sending the tweet. I had to share out that we're live. I was waiting for you to say we were live. Then you're just like, we're live. I'm like, oh, what? I'm like trying to click and go retweet. And
as share. Spencer's going like, look at my green screen shirt.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. What's going on here, dude? What's going on with this?
It's looking like the protagonist from SMT5 in that really provocative art.
Oh, hey, one other feature I didn't tell you guys I can do during the podcast is this.
Hey, that's awesome. That out. That's sick.
I can throw comments right up on there. So there you go.
Thank you, good hunter. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
It says God Hunter, David.
God Hunter.
No, in Canada, that's good hunter.
Yeah, right.
All right. And then, so Spencer, tell everybody about your channel.
Hey, everybody. I'm Spencer. When I'm not being terrible and bad about everything, I do a weekly video game podcast called Shin Megami Tensei Network. We sometimes talk about games, but, like, it's just an excuse for me to vomit on the internet every week. So if you happen to like SMT and Persona, this thing's been going for, like, almost 10 years, but everything else on my channel is just, like, God knows what. I'm like the opposite of like brand consistency. That doesn't exist with me. It's like on social media you'd think like I kind of do an okay job, and then according to Twitter I just do like torture with bad Super Monkey Ball games, and then with podcasts I just beg for news every week.
There's that. Oh, look, here we go. There's what it's okay, how do you pronounce your name? I'm so sorry.
Yeah. My name is VCiPz.
Okay, I said it right.
And my channel is It's VCiPz. I cover Shin Megami Tensei, Persona, Kingdom Hearts, Nintendo, all kinds of content like that. And I also have another channel for live streams exclusively because we were talking about it earlier, Kuro, how you're streaming on Twitch now. That's why I have two channels. One channel for videos, one channel for streaming. So
right on.
Nice.
But so if anyone wants to check out my content, you guys can if you'd like. But I'm just more so just glad to be here. Thank you guys for inviting me on tonight. I really appreciate it. I can't wait to discuss everything with Atlus.
Are you okay if I just call you Sips?
Yep, you can call me Sips. You can call me VC. A lot of people like IRL call me VCiPz too. So
how much does chat need to do super chatting to get to see the VCiP VNips?
This isn't Review Tech USA.
Just because I'm wearing the Yakuza kind of like.
Yeah, it's close. We're like getting the teaser image.
Hey, Kino Akami is like, yo, firing that up. Hey, maybe a nice 1,000.
Okay, yeah, a cool even. It'll split. It'll split 200 between the five of us nicely.
We'll see. We'll see next week. VCiPz has the OnlyFans.
And we got one other person on the stream here. Who is it?
Hello.
I wonder who that is.
Hello.
Does he like JRPGs? I'm not sure if he likes JRPGs.
I think I do. Thanks for having me on again. Appreciate it. Always a blast on your show, Chris. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dave.
Should be fun. Should be fun.
So if you guys haven't subscribed to any of these channels, you can join David's. There's that too. That's awesome.
Please join me.
If you haven't subscribed, go check these guys out. We got some really cool people on here. We're gonna be discussing everything.
That's my main channel. Yep.
Atlus
I got two channels. So I'm
not subscribed. What? I swore I was subscribed. My bad.
Don't worry, it's all good. I use my new channel to subscribe
to. That's what they all say, man. Oh man, I can't believe it.
Oh man, Kino Akami, free the VNips.
All right. Ooh, look at this. There we go. Okay. So, like I was saying before we went live, the first question I have for you guys is Atlus being shy about SMT5?
A little.
I would say the opposite. What do you like, bro? We're like, I think right now, if we consider all the B-roll they've released, we're almost at like half an hour of footage.
Okay, but half an hour footage, for any other company, we'd be like, "Where's the footage?" But for Atlus,
okay, here, let me flip it. Let me flip it around to make this ChrillCast approved. There is now more gameplay footage for SMT5 than Halo Infinite.
But that's because
Spencer, your teeth
Microsoft
are
doesn't know what they're
disappearing.
doing.
But I'm like, for games that have been in development for a crazy long amount of time, I think it's very like kind of, it's obviously apples and oranges to everything. But the other thing with it is like, I think like they're almost in a like case right now of like people are kind of like me, or even like more so in a sense of like they are showing so much that it's kind of like, okay, hey, I gotta stop paying attention to this right now. Because if you don't follow like Japanese games and stuff, like Japanese games media, like leading up to release, they over spoil everything. Like if you've ever watched an American movie trailer and go, oh my god, dude, that trailer showed me the whole movie. Yeah, Japanese games media laugh at that idea and show you literally everything.
Yeah, like even if we're talking like just other video games in general, like Kingdom Hearts 3, for example. David, I know we're talking Kingdom Hearts. I'm sorry, I'm going to ruin your next minute of me talking about this. But they showed all of the spoilers in the trailer, which absolutely ruined the game for me. So like when media does that, it's the worst, honestly. So I can totally understand where it could be felt that there's a lot of stuff shown already. Like 30 minutes was shown, the treehouse happened, but like I could be down for another like 30 minutes of gameplay shown. It is a JRPG. It's a long game, and there could be a lot that could be shown to help promote more people to get into it. Because I think there needs to be more shown for more people to want to get into SMT5.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Let me ask this for you guys really quick, just because I want to know like where all 5 of our headspaces at. Who's on the camp of who thinks they've shown enough of this, or has shown too little? Because like the other part of it, I'm wondering at. I'm coming at this as a game that basically got revealed a month ago. And I bet a lot of people are coming at this as this is a game that's been announced 4 years ago.
So
I mean, it depends on in which direction you're looking at it. Like, do you mean from fans' point of view or from the
just
company?
just specifically with you all here? Like, are you in the sense of like?
I'd like to see as much as possible because I simmed that game and I've been waiting for so long that I'd like to see more. But from a business perspective, personally, I'm with you, Spencer. I think they show confidence by showing a ton of this game. I feel like they're not, I wouldn't say shy, kind of the opposite, especially since they like even showed us hands-on footage, like at the Treehouse, for example. That screams confidence to me. So yeah.
So to me, I feel like that's 2 ways to look at this. One, yes, Atlus Japan has been doing a great job at marketing this game. Atlus USA has not been doing, or West, I guess, now you say it, has not really been marketing this game the way that you could probably see. I mean, that's like a big thing for like for Chris, for example, maybe following more of like the Western side of Atlus. And to be frank, they have not been marketing the game as they could. On the other hand, we have a new demon showcase every day on Atlus, the Atlus Tube. Is that what it's called? Atlus Tube or something like that? Yep. The Japanese YouTube channel, and they're constantly sharing news information, new pictures, and everything like that. And then when they did, they've been doing this kind of like media reveals with like what is this publication? A Western publication.
Oh,
Game Informer. Game Informer. They showcase some pictures. They were like the pictures that we saw from Mitsu like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, well, that's just embarrassing. Like
a lot.
You're talking about that we have to save her thing that you sent us in the chat.
Yeah, like they were like the exact same screenshots from like 2 weeks ago. So it's kind of like that's not really like.
They're acting like it's a big deal, and I'm like, so I have the physical magazine here with those pictures. It's not new.
So I talked to the people, not in terms of Game Informer, but I talked to some people at Atlus who were working in terms of like the media coverage for it. They just, for whatever reason, I don't know who signed what, if it was a Nintendo thing, Atlus Japan thing, or whatever. Literally, it's just whatever Famitsu is going to be getting, or Dengeki. All of those magazine screenshots are getting translated every month, and they're just going to be posted to Game Informer until release. Like, that's the only deal. They don't have an exclusive interview set. It's just going to be, we are translating screenshots. And I think, like, we kind of joke about, like, saying, like, oh, this is a big deal or not. But what's funny is, like, they only announced this as a tweet. Like, they didn't, like, hype this up. There wasn't, like, a countdown. Like, so I think they've at least gone into it with the right amount of knowledge. And I know, like, we highlighted the word exclusive a little bit ago. Honestly, like, say what you will about it, this being dumb or not. Like, literally, I waited, like, almost like for a 4-hour show for this stuff to drop, and it was still very underwhelming. At the end of the day, though, it is nice to have confirmed like English localized text and not just some dude on YouTube or Twitter doing a translation job. Like, it is nice to see English, like confirmed English stat screenshots 5 months before launch.
I think we hyped this up. To be honest, we were like, "Holy crap! One exclusive footage from Game 4 every month," and we were like, "Let's go!"
And then we see it, and it's all the old
wrong.
it's
It's English, and it's official translation every month. It's better than nothing. I think we hyped this up. I know I did.
Yeah.
I was like, "Ah, man, it's gonna be hyped as hell." But yeah.
Now, on the other
It is
hand,
what it is.
I want to mention though, Nintendo has not been shy about showcasing this game. They
Which is
shared
great.
That's true.
snippets of this Shin Megami Tensei trailer over and over again, but small details, and they keep sharing them and everything. I'm like, Nintendo's really marketing this game well. Like, say what you will about other games that they market very poorly, but they've been doing a pretty good job at marketing this.
Jake
And
has
somehow
a
I
great
did
point
know
too.
this. I did not actually know that.
Yeah, Nintendo publishing the game in Europe, not Atlus.
Which is a good
Do
thing.
they
I
still
think
have like who normally publishes in Europe nowadays? I can't remember.
it's a split job. Sometimes it's them, and then other times it's done by Deep Silver.
There you go, Katsuya.
Yo, where's Demi Crow?
He's in here.
Demi Crow's alive and well.
There he goes.
Yeah, that's why obligatory Jack Bros remaster. That's all Demi Crow right there.
I would buy that if they put it on the Switch. I would buy it just because of like A, because it's Jack Bros, and B, because it's Jack Bros. So
Sounds about right.
This has to be a PSVR game if it happens.
Oh my
Not on
god!
Switch.
but it
Would
still
you-
has to
would
be
you-
all red
That'd be
and
cool.
black.
Would you like me? Would you like me to remind you how little effort they put into PSVR for dancing?
So
What
put
if
it on
they made it
Labo
like-
VR then.
That's what I was gonna
VR
say. What
would
if they
be
put
great.
it on Labo?
Labo
Yeah.
VR would actually
Crap.
be like proper. That'd be Atlus budget, like the
Yeah.
most
That's what I'm
appropriate.
saying.
You know,
Yeah.
Nintendo should release a Virtual Boy version
Proper
of their online service, and you
God.
only allowed for people with Labo would get the Virtual Boy
Games.
section with all 22 games.
At least they get Wario Land. At least they get
Yes.
that.
Yes. Anyways, back to Atlus. So it seems like you guys don't believe that they're being very shy, but I think just in general, like Atlus is kind of like nervous that SMT5 won't live up to the previous game,
Oh,
especially since they
man.
work for Sega, like they're under Sega, you know. And I feel like if you were to compare Sega to Atlus, Sega is very extroverted in the way that they do business, and I feel like Atlus is a little more introverted in the way they do business.
I guess I can see where you're coming from, especially with the pre-order stuff, the collector's edition pre-order. I mean, like they really weren't expecting the numbers that they got from like the collector's editions. They way undershot that, and they recognized that when they tweeted out, they're like, "Oh, thank you so much for your support" or whatever. Like 3 days later, after people was trying to scavenge that. So like, I can see where you're coming from there, because I do feel like to an extent, Atlus didn't really expect like the reception of kind of like people waiting for, but at the same time it's been 4 years and we finally get a pre-order, so like the fans that have been waiting for 4 years, like it's been a while, you know.
I think I know what you're trying to get at though, Chris, because like what I see is like Shin Megami Tensei is like Atlus's baby, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And over time, the spin-off Persona did get very popular. And I love Persona. I like Shin Megami Tensei a lot as well, but like they want to see Shin Megami Tensei 5 do really well. So I can understand how you feel the way you do, but they have shown a lot of stuff already. Like if they were to decide to do one more trailer and that's it, I'd be fine at the end of the day, but I would love to see some more gameplay. Just another 30 minutes. I would have no problem with that.
Spencer, you got to turn off that green screen. Your eyes are creeping me out when you get too close. Like your eyes,
yeah,
they're
I forgot.
gone.
Oh, yeah.
Turn it off.
Your eyes completely.
And I got
Oh,
blue eyes. Oh, this is great. Here, let's see if we can get his face. Oh, this is great, everybody. Oh yeah.
Spencer,
Yeah, you have to
turning into a
squeeze your
Demi
face
Green.
too in order to do
I'm
that.
just dying here.
Oh boy! And when he shows his teeth too close, those go away too. Anyways, Spencer, please turn it off. It's just scaring the kids.
You're
Scaring
right.
the kids.
You're right. I should turn it to green. That's inappropriate. I gotta say though, Chris, I have a weird question for you, just in the sense of like, I wonder, are you mostly coming at this from someone? I'm trying to think of like a way to phrase it, because you definitely like, and you are the majority in this case, so it's not a bad thing. Most people don't track outside of their region's game coverage news, and
I do a little bit.
And I think if you're not going out of your way to kind of look for stuff like that, it definitely might seem like it's kind of fallen off the backside from E3, and a big part of that kind of has to go through right now. For the most part, obviously this is generalizing. For the most part, the Western media does not give a shit about SMT5. But that's also the same reason, like that there are all those people who look. That
seems a bit obvious, isn't it? Though.
Well, yeah, but
like
it is one of those
like
things
Xenoblade's amazing too, but like does Western media give a shit? I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, like it'll do great. Like you look at something like Xenoblade, whether it be Definitive Edition or even like Monster Hunter Stories 2 that just came out. Like people aren't hyping that up, but that game's going to do really, really well. It's just kind of one of those things of like, for whatever reason, it just doesn't like hit their rates. Like literally, I posted about this a couple days ago. The fact that I heard someone in games media, without like a hint of irony, describe SMT5 as looking like an HD game, like an HD remaster of an older game, like blew my mind. But it's like, yeah, if you're not following this series, like I'm sure something like that's like you're not just going to look at it immediately. It's like, as much as people joke about it, like the media looks at it like, is it Persona 5 or does it look like Persona 5? If not, I'm good. Goodbye.
Yep.
And the people who do like SMT, it's like, oh shit, it looks like Tokyo Mirage Sessions. It's like, bro, it looks clean. What are you talking about? The menus are nice. Like they're sleek as hell.
Yeah, and
I've heard
people complain about the UI, but I didn't see anything that really bothered me.
Yeah, the menus look sleek to me, but like I've heard people say it looks like Tokyo Mirage Sessions. I'm like,
it does
a little, but
it does.
A little, but I don't think it looks bad though.
Yeah, it's not bad because
isn't really ugly.
Right,
like, it's. I'm not gonna look at the menu and think, oh, my eyes are burning. I have to stop playing this and play Persona. They have better menu designs.
You bring up an interesting thing because people have definitely kind of talked about it. I've been meaning to do a video about this, but I need to kind of get a little. I wanted to get like more footage to just kind of show examples of, because at E3 it was a little bit too soon for it. But I kind of want to make a video showcasing and talking about SMT5 is really smart in the way that it cuts corners, but people don't really want to talk about that as if that's a positive, but it totally is. Like they cut a lot of corners to make this game work, and it's great. Like they're doing all the smart things in terms of game design you want to do to cut. Like they're reusing animations from Demons in P5. Why not? There's over 200 fucking demons. No one is needing them all to be redone just for this one game. Like they're reusing a lot of things.
Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Exactly. Like they could have very easily been like, they could have easily just done the same thing the Pokemon company did, and it was like, sorry guys, we gotta not use these 3DS model rigs and bring them onto Switch or whatever. Like they're bringing over as many as they can. They're redesigning where it makes sense. But then other ways, it's like they've got a dynamic resolution. It's probably going to look not great on your TV, but it's going to look good because of the way they've stylized it. It's running at a very modest 30 FPS. And it's like one of those things of just like, they're doing things that aren't exciting or even fun to say on paper, but it's going to be great in the long run in terms of like performance of the game and development time.
Look at that rock. Like that looks like PS2 level rocks right there.
Bruh, it's more detailed.
It's
moving.
Let me show you this JPEG of a Pokemon backpack. I've got another 2 hours we can talk about this.
I was joking. I was joking, Spencer. I'm sorry. I was joking.
But yeah, so like another final thing is like looking at the HUD. Yes, you can say just as many things it has in common with Team S as is, oh, they are doing new things as well, like by showing other systems and whatnot. But it's like, there was definitely a conversation that happened at that development team. They were like, guys, do I spend 4 months making a brand new UI, or can we fine tweak the one that we just made on our last 3D game? And to development, why the fuck would you not just use that as a base and build from there? Because like, yes, it'd probably be more interesting if it was more unique for it, but like for a game like this, and obviously the company as a whole, like that development team is not known for breaking ground technically. They are known for like building upon very shaky structures. Like we're talking about a company who's been selling us the same sprites for 20 years and calling it a new game.
Are you about to talk about the Majin Tensei? Or
no,
not Majin. What was the engine they used on? Was it Saturn or which one? No, whatever one Nocturne's built off of.
Oh yeah. Because so they made the same version that all the PS2 games from Persona 4 all the way to Nocturne were all based off a Dreamcast engine from Mach and X.
Yeah, Mach and X. I was gonna say Majin Tensei, and I knew that was wrong.
So I think like it's just not as much common knowledge for like the ways of like the things they're doing that people could look at as a negative. I look at as them doing this step gets the game into people's hands quicker and isn't compromising the total of the game. Because like I've never once heard someone with an RPG be like, "Oh my god, dude, Final Fantasy VI is one of the best games of all time, but because I don't like its UI, it fucking sucks and I'm never playing it." It's like at the end of the day, stuff like UI is fun to nitpick, but at the end of the day, we don't really talk about it unless it's really good or really bad.
It's a really good example.
People nitpick the trees and the grass in Pokemon Sword and Shield.
FF6 was a really good example because yes, it's an amazing game, but it really has a trash UI. So that's a very good example. But it's not that like they copy pasted TMS; they just reused assets. I think
it's just evolving. It's evolving upon it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just building upon it.
I just wish they had used a different color. I just don't like that green color. I don't think it really matches like the rest of the aesthetic that they went for. Like if they had used maybe like a silver or like a gold with like
they should have went blue.
Yeah, maybe blue.
Because of an albino
Apocalypse.
Yeah,
they didn't want to look like Nocturne.
Kuro, I got a bit of advice. Every day, at least for 30 minutes every day, just look at the sun directly, and by the time this game comes out, you should be colorblind, and then you'll enjoy it a little bit more.
I think by then, Kuro will be actually blind.
Or
to be fair, Breath of the Wild looks beautiful, though.
It does, especially when you play it on your PC. But
I don't like Breath of the Wild very much, but it looks good.
Oh, you can see the live viewers leaving after he said that. They're all
hey, I almost got ostracized because I thought it was a 9 out of 10 game. People like 9 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10. I'm like, what?
The only 10 out of 10 Zelda game that exists is Link to the Past.
I knew it. Yep. It's really good though, but I personally like Wind Waker the most. That's just me.
Spencer's like, I'm leaving this chat right now.
No, I was actually trying to think of like I love so many Zelda games. It's hard for me to pick like one over the other. But that's just because like I'm such a huge fucking.
I'm taking into context like timing, historical context, and everything else. Link to the Past came out at the perfect time for the perfect system that it could debut on.
Did not have a lot of competition, but I know what you mean.
Exactly.
Zelda has a
kind of like GoldenEye came out at the perfect time that now we look back and we remember it nostalgically, but if you try and play it, you're like, no, this don't work so well anymore. You know what I mean? Context matters.
I think most Zelda games are 8 out of 10 or over that, but I don't think there's a 10 out of 10 Zelda game.
Twilight Princess is 7 out of 10, but let's continue the conversation.
Nah, it's an 8. Most of them are 8. There's a lot of 9s, not at 9.5, but I wouldn't give a 10 to any of them. Personally.
Yeah, David, I was trying to think my 10 out of 10 game, and I reached the same conclusion. Like, probably Breath of the Wild was like one that I really enjoyed, but at the same time, the way they did storytelling just didn't work for me at all. Like, it was a cool game. I really enjoyed it, but like from a story perspective, it just really didn't do anything for me.
Minish Cap is awesome, Demicro. I'm with you, dude. Awesome game.
That's Capcom Zelda.
Yep. Fantastic
Which
game,
is great. Too. I love Capcom Zelda.
Capcom should make another one.
People are giving too many 10 out of 10s. 10 out of 10 is a perfect score.
Exactly.
There's not a lot of games that are supposed to have that status.
Like there's only one game that
Halo 3?
4 Golden. That's just me though.
Persona 4 Golden. I mostly agree with that statement.
Like it's like 9.5 to a 10. It's like it's in between there for me. Like it's really hard to like think of too many flaws because like gameplay is great, story is great, like characters are awesome in every like I don't know. That's just me though. I know everyone has their own things, but
I want to reel this guy in.
10 out of 10.
Next question. Next question is, so I think we've gotten through this like Atlus, like our views on where they're at in the media right now, and I will just suffice to say the whole reason I was mentioning that is I feel like Atlus is wasting the opportunity they have on like Twitter and Facebook and social media, not just posting videos, which they've done pretty well with actually, to be honest. I agree on that statement. But as far as like if you look at Halo every single day, Infinite's coming out this end of this year. They are on media constantly responding to people constantly. I feel like Atlus does that more minimally. And that was kind of the last thing I wanted to say about that. I think they could do a little better with that. And definitely Zelda CDI, 3 out of 10. Greatest game on the CDI, but not a great Zelda game. Anyways.
I think a really great way to talk about Atlus in terms of social media, one of literally Atlus with social media is like one of my favorite things to talk about because of how rarely it gets brought up. People should think about it like this. It is very easy to look at Atlus doing the bare minimum and be like, you know what, compared to most video game companies, they're doing fine. It's whatever. I want you to come at it from this lens. Go into manager mode, everybody. Next time you are on Atlus West, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pornhub, whatever account you want to look at, look at what they're posting, replying to or liking, and then say this. Someone is getting paid to do this, and then see if that's a good thing. Like, if you look at that and go, I'm paying someone to make this, I go and I know people who work on their social media. And it's not because the people on there are bad. It's just because of how short of a leash they have in comparison to Sega. Like a really great example, and I totally forgot this guy's name, and I apologize for it, but someone came out on their personal account after the State of Play this week and went kind of like almost damage control. If you guys saw this, the new Lost Judgment trailer featured the dub for the first time.
The dub, yeah. Oh, I remember the person.
Had terrible lip sync, like actually laughably bad lip sync. And he had this huge thread going over all the things about, hey, here's when voice acting was done. Here's how much time we have at the last game. Here's why, because it's a simultaneous launch. Like all these little factors going into it. Great information to get. You will never get that from Atlus, even though they are literally the same company. Every company who, like all the employees who make the Yakuza games in the West are the same people who translate and localize all the Persona and SMT games. They're all the same, but it's just like they have to talk to it's like getting Sega approval compared to Atlus approval in Japan is very, very hard and very different. And so that's what really, really sucks. Like even going back to the collector's edition thing, when they sold out of a bunch of collector's edition, remember, important to say, they haven't actually sold out because they haven't produced a single one. Right. When they stopped letting pre-orders come in, the whole big point about that was because Japan gave them an allotment of the West gets this many because they're sharing items. They're sharing the art book. They're sharing the CD. So because they were sharing, it all has to go through Japan, even with something like, can we sell more? Can we make more money? Has to get approval from Japan. When in any other company, it's like, sell, buy, fucking Mr. Krabs mode. Let's go. It's like the most asinine things ever need the most insane amount of approvals. Even something like reusing or getting assets. Like, they have to ask for assets. Even looking at something like Nocturne, they were denied things the Japanese release got just because they didn't think the West needed it. So they just have such a short leash, and it's just the stupidest thing ever. And what sucks is I think if more people could talk about it, not just some dumb guy in Kansas who looks like he's in his mom's basement, I think if they themselves as a company could talk about it, it would be a little bit more understood. But because they are just silent, it just looks like they don't care, which is almost probably more frustrating to them of okay, well, you're just not doing it probably because you don't care, not because they can't do it.
The name is Scott Strichart. That's his name. That's
Thank you.
Who you were looking for. I saw the thread, and that's definitely something that you don't see from the peeps at Atlus.
I totally agree with that.
JCat in the chat who's asking, how do I know this? I ask people at Atlus, and then they laugh/cry emoji and let me know when I ask them questions, and then say, please don't say I told you this. That's pretty much where it comes
from. Oh man, no, I made a comment on one of my latest videos about I think I was talking about Persona 6 going multi-platform or something like that, and I got a lot of interesting responses from that video. But main thing is, I personally would like Sega to be more involved. I feel like they're really hands-off, but too hands-off. There's EA too hands-on, and then there is Sega really hands-off. And I feel like there should be kind of a middle ground where Sega is a little bit more active as far as making some of the bigger decisions. Because let's be honest here, Megami Tensei or Persona particularly has outgrown the business model that Atlus has, and they don't realize. And I seeing like what Spencer is saying, they really don't realize how much bigger their product is compared to the way that they want to approach things. Like it's not 1995 anymore.
They're stuck in their niche business mindset.
Right.
That's funny you say that of like being stuck actually, because this is actually a newfound problem. The West, they normally had a lot of free reign, and I think something in that transition between Atlus USA being their own separate company, they were great about communicating, being open. They had their own forums. They were talking to fans all the time. Like, it was very easy back in the day to have a one-on-one conversation with someone working on all of these games. Atlus Faithful used to actually mean something and not just be a fucking hashtag that you do just to promote your art and stuff. So, like, it's really like a shame that like it's pretty much only happened after the Sega buyout, but ironically doesn't affect Sega games. So like maybe just something in Atlus Japan made them be a lot more reserved or worried that like they were being like too like open and stuff for it. But yeah, it's like I wish we could just say like with Nintendo, Nintendo's always been Nintendo. There's no like, oh my god, man, let me tell you, Wii U Nintendo, we sure miss those days or whatever. It was just like Nintendo for the most part is pretty much with their games and the way they handle promotion always kind of been the same. Whereas like Atlus was like one of the best about it, and now have just like taken a total cliff dive. So social media presence in public relations wise, unless you're basically the cool kids in class, like they're just gonna ignore you like to the ends of the earth just because they know they don't have to.
Consider the cool kids in class currently then? If it's on Atlus.
Literally look at just type this into Google, do Atlus 2021 interview, and look at any website who's ever gotten an interview with Atlus. It's just IGN, Game Informer, and GameSpot. Like I've literally asked them before, be like, hey, I will take a fucking interview from the janitor. I keep joking about this, but like I have an entire thread of emails and messages and DMs of me trying to get someone from Atlus all the way back to 2018 on the show in any level, and it's just been
get like a voice actor. A voice actor would be much easier to get on the show.
That's why I get voice actors on. Voice actors are so much easier because you just got to say, hey, can I get you on and come on? Like those are easy to get.
Exactly.
But there's the difference though of like the voice
actor. They don't know the
actor,
business side and stuff, of course.
Yeah, it's like talking to voice actors are great in terms of getting personalities on, especially for a podcast. Getting someone who's like behind the scenes to come on, you can ask them the like maybe the less fun, awkward questions, but those are the stuff like fans want to know. Like one of the things I love a lot about like SMT and like people like. When we would get people on like that, you wouldn't be like, we're not going to give them softballs like, oh, how do you feel about releasing a 3DS game in 2018? No. We'd be like, why are you doing
questions?
Yeah, it'd be like,
good question, though.
It'd be like, why are you doing this? You should be doing this. Explain the pricing of this, and it'd be like, it'd be getting into the nitty gritty stuff.
Coming to Wii U?
Yeah, we wouldn't like. We're not just going to ask the questions that you can assume through Googling or common sense, which was one of those fun things with it. Of like, and I think though the sad thing about that is, especially because as the conversation kept going with it, because we like coming on my show can't be a fluff piece. Right. Like coming on my show will win them no publicity outside of the people who already listen to it. Like you're not going to get a headline to be like look at like interviews they did for something like Persona 5 Royal of like, you'll never understand how great Kasumi is, and let me tell you about that grappling hook. Persona 5 Royal. Here's 5 fun facts you're never gonna know before launch. Whereas like no, we're gonna get into this of like, okay, what was the game of this? What was the scope of the budget? Why did it take 3.5 years to make? Let's talk about the director change. Like all these things.
I have something to say about that.
3.5 years for 20 hours of gameplay. It's a lot of fun, but it's 20 hours.
I saw a meme the other day. It said Persona 5 Royal has a grappling hook. Halo, I'll take that. It's like,
you know what? No. You know what? That grappling hook will at least be fun to use. That will be less QTE.
Japan looked at Persona 5 and was like, you know what? I'm going to take that.
Anyway, Spencer, I appreciate that comment. Actually, what was funny was I was watching a Review Tech USA who said exactly the same thing. He said there's so many people who invite like an Atlus or not an Atlus specifically, but devs, system designers, or people that work in the industry on their podcast, and all they do is fluff them up the whole podcast. It's like
look at every Tommy Tallarico interview he's ever been on.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of transforms those. I'm not gonna lie, like he's a good guy, but he takes over. Like if you have him on your podcast, he takes over, man. He talks very, very smartly and very well. So I have nothing bad to say about Tommy, but I might have some interesting information to talk about later on a different video.
Here's me handing the Amico check to Chris from below. It's under the table right there. Just gonna grab.
Look, I have some concerns about the Amico. I'll get into that a different day.
Where's the Amico podcast? I want the Halo, Amico, and Persona podcast.
Nope. Anyways, we can talk about that offline. I am gonna put a video out later. I don't know if it'll be this week or next week, but I have some concerns about the Amico, and I will bring them out to light to talk about. Okay. All right. The next question I have for you guys: do you think the SMT5 is causing Atlus to not be able to showcase anything for Persona 25?
Yes.
No.
Depends on what they want to show.
Yeah.
But
yes. Hands up. Yes, hands up.
They're waiting for December. Or sometime between December through March.
No, we're gonna get something in September.
Yeah, you're gonna get something either from between now to September. The trouble part is this, because I think kind of the way you're talking about it, Chris, is it's not like the game is physically stopping it. It is the release time. Like we're now in the last half of the year, so our time is limited. And what's so funny is, like, I love how this blew up after the state of play, but that's why I made that tweet a couple days ago of, like, you could super see these Persona collections finally getting announced, because, like, they are being worked on. They are done for the most part. Like, all these PC ports that are just kind of waiting in the wings, it's like, I know they're done. I know they're waiting on when to announce them so they can release them, and I know it's going to be near September. So, like, I think another thing also that kind of like lean into it of like why I don't think it's in the way. SMT5 is one platform. It is exclusive to Switch. And there is a large group of people who are Atlus fans who say, I'm excited about SMT5, but I don't have a Switch, and maybe I don't ever want to get a Switch, or I'm going to wait for the PC port in 2025. So like they might just be waiting. So like there's a huge group of audience, not only in PlayStation, computers, Xbox, and Ouya, whatever else is going to come to, of like all these people are going to have something to play. And while yes, saying a Persona 3 and 4 port to consoles and PC isn't exciting, that is the most definition of an easy win for an anniversary collection. We're 25, here's 2 games, give us $40, we'll jerk you off behind the Denny's and call it a year.
I guess you could call it Jack Bros.
Exactly, yeah.
Speaking of Jack Bros, Kuro, I'm sorry, man, I have to call you out here. He's saying that he wants Square Enix to buy Atlus.
Bruh,
no,
what?
No,
bruh. Keep them separate. No. I like Square Enix. No. I like Atlus. Keep them separate. They don't need to be together.
Live service Persona.
Call you out.
Live service Persona.
They would bring back Imagine. They'd make it.
They'd have to work with Ubisoft for that. We got live service Assassin's Creed coming. So.
Then Chris, I am so sorry.
Spencer.
Chris, I am so sorry. I just got a notification. My wife is live streaming against this right now. She might be stealing some viewers away. So if anyone leaves to watch my wife play Genshin Impact, you've chosen the wrong side in this argument. You're going to miss out on
She picked a good game, though. It was in my top 5 of 2020.
No. The real question is, your wife streams?
That's what I said, and I live with her.
What?
I once had a moment, man. This is the weirdest moment of like, I don't even know what life I'm living right now. I was like, good night, honey. I'll see you in bed. I got to go to bed. I'm like really tired or whatever. She's like, I'll be there soon. And then like 20 minutes later, I got a notification on my phone that's just like, she's live playing Genshin Impact. And I fucking like go to the other room, like, are you live streaming? Like after I told you to like, I'm going to bed. Like, who are you?
Fair enough.
She's like, all right, I can stream now.
I'm now that person.
The kids are in bed. It's time to stream.
It's like, I used to think I'm the one who's like, all right, whatever, I'll let her sleep, and then I'll go fucking play Super Monkey Ball or something. And then now I'm the person going to sleep as she's playing Super Monkey Ball.
I didn't know Genshin Impact was Super Monkey Ball. When was
you know what? They added Wind Waker to that game. I believe they can add Super Monkey Ball to that game.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, actually, probably the funniest thing I've heard recently was that Chris Ray-Gun said that in Dreams, somebody put Peter Griffin against the Master Chief or something weird. So, there are those weird crossovers in various games. And, I don't think that the weirdest thing ever would be what Spencer said. I think there's much weirder things out there. So, anyways,
That's true.
Next question that I had for you guys, although Spencer kind of hogged that. Do you guys have anything else to say? Do you think that that a potential Persona 25 could overshadow the release of SMT5?
I personally think it could, personally. Just a little bit. Like because Persona has become, like we mentioned before, such a big popular thing that many people like anyone seen on Twitter, King Goomba, oh, where's Persona 5? And they're showcasing SMT5 like tweets and stuff. It's like, what the hell? Like, give some props to SMT. This is gonna be a dope game. Atlus wants some good sales, and like we mentioned earlier, they want to see some potential. They want to see this be the best selling in the whole series. It's their baby. It's their magnum opus. So
let me ask you one question. What would be one Persona 25th announcement that would be a nuisance to SMT5?
Persona 6, which isn't likely to happen.
Yeah, but Persona 6, it would be, if it happened, which again, I not really liking,
I don't
but
think
if
it's
it were
going
to happen,
but like it's like
yeah,
small,
but if it were to happen,
if it were,
let's say if it were, it would be a super small 1-minute teaser with no date, no nothing.
Yes,
it wouldn't be a nuisance.
It would eliminate all 30 minutes of what was shown to some people. There's so many people who are like, listen,
wow,
okay. There's people who don't realize this, but listen, there's Persona fans out there outside of us that have never played a Persona game, that literally only watch the anime or listen to the music. Like, there's Persona fans out there that have never played the games for Persona.
And I would imagine a lot of them live in Japan,
into
though.
SMT.
I would imagine a lot of those fans.
But at that point, if they don't even play the games, that's not even gonna matter whether they see Persona 6
exactly.
or not.
That's the thing.
No, but the way social media works, things get trending, and I'm telling you,
the thing
it's
is
a big thing. The social media thing, Spencer, you mentioned it before. Like, social media is a big impact.
If Persona 6 gets announced, it's only gonna boost Shin Megami Tensei more.
I hope, but I don't think so.
It will, because look at before Persona 5 Joker. Whenever the Joker trailer for Super Smash Bros. Came out
at the Game Awards, yeah,
the Game Awards. Like, look at back then, like now, like how much people just come into the series like brand new. Like, they only play Persona 5 and they want to play Shin Megami Tensei 5. Like, I've seen a lot of comments on my videos where I'm actually like really happy to see like all these new people coming in, like people that they never heard of Shin Megami Tensei before, but they saw Joker on Super Smash Bros. And like from then on, they just went in this rabbit hole of JRPG Megami Tensei shit. And like, I personally don't think it's going, like, if whatever announcement it may be, it just has to be a specific thing that will really fuck shit up for SMT5. Am I allowed to cuss in this?
I said jerk off behind the Denny's. I think he would have let me know after that. Kuro, I want to boost you up a little bit. What you're saying though, it is always important to talk about how big of an impact Joker getting added to Smash was, because when I was doing my research for my SMT5 being like the last Smash Fighter thing, when I was doing my research, one of the interesting things I found out about that was if you look at analytics, If you look at analytics, the most viewed Smash Ultimate DLC video anywhere, ever, is Joker's reveal to Smash gameplay. Not his trailer, the like little deep dive, here's what he looks like while playing him video.
He's the
like
first
that
character, though.
Either way, I mean, hey, Piranha Plane, he's trying, man. He's trying. That's all I'm saying. Piranha Plane's trying. But, like, it is one of those funny things of, like, I don't think it's because it's the first. I think it was just one of those weird, like, parallels in terms of what kind of hooks into it with it. Although, that being said, especially because we now have a fifth person here, I want to ask all five of you. I don't like how I'm, like, kind of surrounded.
He's arriving from the shadow realm.
I feel like I'm, like, in the beginning of, like, a Brazzers video or something.
There, you're not surrounded anymore.
No, this is perfect. So I can...
So,
for those who don't know,
I want to ask all five of
you...
you...
some Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels. I beat the piss out of them all the time.
I want to ask all five of you, like, who here is confident enough to bet on a month of an announcement? And it might be a shadow drop, but either way, because we are in July now, for the rest of 5 months of the year, when do you think we will hear anything?
December.
For the 25th?
Spencer.
For the 25th?
September.
You mean
September.
20th to Persona?
Yeah, it's just when will the announcement finally happen?
Oh, yeah, September.
September.
I would hope for
August.
September, but I
August. Back to school with Persona.
I'm thinking before.
No.
I'm thinking they really want to release it in September. It's like they can't Year of Luigi this and make it last 15 months. Like they know that like its anniversary is September, and I know like literally one of the big things that like when I've told people like the 3 and 4 ports are done, their big thing they want to do is they're waiting to release them together.
You
like
know, Nintendo just passed Donkey Kong's anniversary like it was nothing, right?
I mean, I love Donkey
40
Kong.
years.
They do it all the
I
time.
love
More
Donkey
than Mario.
Kong, but like Nintendo
Like
literally
more
does
than
it with,
Mario.
But
It's because
I
of
know
Dude,
Donkey
I am
Kong
on
is
board with that. I
Mario.
love Donkey Kong Country, okay?
Nintendo
I would love to
literally
see a
does
Donkey
that.
Kong collection.
Nintendo literally does it with like 80% of its
Yeah.
franchises, if not more.
Metroid.
So it's like
They did it with Metroid for years, and nobody mentions that.
mhm.
So the next question I have, I guess since we're all saying that some kind of Persona 25th is coming, what do you think it will be? And we'll start with Kuro. I want Kuro to give his opinion first. And Spencer, since you are like probably the most detailed in your answers, that's how I'm going to say that. I want you to
No
go last
shit.
for this one. Let's have Kuro go first. What will be in a Persona 25 collection?
All right, so I think it will just be like ports, like either some kind of remaster, probably Persona 1, like Persona 1 and 2 collection kind of thing.
You think so?
That would be cool. Yeah, that would be a cool thing. But it's probably just gonna be Persona 3 to be frank. Probably like PC, Steam, lazy. Just I feel like I don't think they're gonna do something big. Like I know a lot of people say or think it will, but I just expect like a port on Steam and call it a day. Maybe it's just me being cynical, but I'm just realistic.
Katsuya, I would put your comment on the screen, but my goodness, yeah. You had to put that effing part in there, and we can't have that like written on the stream because that would be like immediate flag from Mr. YouTube. So
really,
I think so. I'm pretty sure because we've been hit before with stuff like that. So I just don't put those kind of words on screen. But I understand what you're saying. You could say it audio wise, but for some reason, if it shows up like that AI can find you. It's like
does that go for like if you put the text up like?
I try not to put text with profanity on screen. Even though we can say profanity all we want, I don't like having on screen because I feel like the AI catches us every time I do that.
Right.
All right, Mr. Narukami, what's going to be in this Persona 25 collection?
Well, at first, with them being dead silent on it, at first I thought it was only going to be Spotify. The songs being added to Spotify back in January. Now I don't know what y'all have been talking about. I've been a little busy tonight, but obviously they would have
watching
to include...
Space Jam, drinking some of your liquor.
Oh hell yeah, man! You know how it is. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Spend some time with my girl
in 4K, by the way.
Yeah, in 4K.
He means Lola Bunny, by the way, not his girlfriend.
Bro, they made Lola Bunny thick in that movie.
Oh my gosh.
Because they got the backlash. They're like, oh shit, we gotta fix this.
See, the only reason we have furries today is because kids grew up with Lola Bunny back in 1994.
Oh my gosh. Can we stick to Persona here? My goodness. Space Jam a different time.
Space Jam's awesome. Anyways,
sounded
Persona
more like
4...
Lola Jam over there.
Persona 4 Golden for consoles. I don't know why it hasn't happened yet.
Persona
but I feel like
Pop-Tarts.
Persona Pop-Tarts. Yeah, I'm all for it.
What would they taste like?
Down.
Mystery
Don't
Food
answer
X
that.
from Persona 4 Golden.
Hopefully Kawakami, but Christ.
God.
Oh my god.
Kawakami panties flavor.
Okay.
Yeah, specifically panties.
Oh my gosh. What is happening to this podcast?
We're spiraling. See, this is what happened when you bring someone out of the shadow realm.
We've left the TV. We have Teddy on here.
Oh,
bro, don't even say that about bro.
Narukami is the Teddy of the group. What?
No.
Oh
no.
my god.
Ooh. Damn. Might as well change yourself to
Finna change my avatar to Teddy right quick.
King Teddy.
Oh my god.
We have a Haru
King
fan
Teddy,
in the audience here.
The one Haru fan, let's go, baby.
Hey, Haru's dope. Haru's dope for the 30 hours you get.
Dude, Haru's
30
great.
minutes.
30 minutes.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't last 30 seconds with Kawakami.
Well, that's on you, not us. But
Yeah. Hey, VCiPz, all right. What's on the Persona 25 collection?
I know a lot of people don't like when I say this, but there's definitely not going to be Persona 3. Okay.
I can agree with that because I think they have a better chance at remaking that, making a lot of money, doing some kind of a definitive
They're
edition.
not remaking any game, man.
But they won't do it. So
No, I'm not saying that they're
won't.
remaking the
Anything.
game next year. I just think that if they are going to remaster a port for it, they have to find a way to integrate FMC as well as the elements of being able to actually control the AI. I know people like the tactics thing. There are people that like it. I think you guys are crazy. I'm a masochist, so I know crazy. That shit's crazy. But they need to make it more suitable for the current era of gamers to want to get into Persona 3. That's
You know
I
what?
think.
VC, you and David just need to get a fucking room together with all this Persona 3 hate up in here. It's kind of appalling.
Hey, listen. Persona 3 is actually something I've played late. I actually have a review of it coming soon. So listen, you'll hear my thoughts. It's a love-hate relationship, okay? Love-hate.
Just like me and you, Narukami. Love and hate, baby.
The Kamurocho bros.
Yeah, we have Kamurocho bros right here.
Yep.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
All right, so now you've moved on from Persona 3 and explaining that.
Yeah.
What do you think would be a Persona 25?
I think Persona 4 Golden on more platforms is more likely, along with Persona 5 Royal. I think that could be possible on more platforms. At least PC, Xbox, Switch, not happening. Be cool, but I don't see that happening.
No, dude, they gotta put it on
You see
Switch. They have
Xbox
to.
You know,
Switch?
listen. The issue isn't Nintendo; it's Atlus.
Bro,
Yeah.
Atlus has put out plenty of games on Switch so far. I think that they would have to
And
drop
listen,
it on Switch.
No,
Royal's
Nintendo-
possible, but it's using the same engine as Catherine Full Body, which the homie David's told me. But I just don't think that they're gonna do it.
I think Nintendo has so
this
much
is Atlus
money.
we're talking about.
Doesn't Nintendo have a lot of money in SMT 5 right now?
Yes, that's why they're
So
promoting
Atlus
it.
can't compete with Nintendo in itself by releasing something like Persona 5 on the Switch. They got to keep it low key with something like Persona 4 Golden
And that's why I
Persona
think-
3.
or
Persona
Persona 3, but I don't
isn't
think that's going to
happening.
happen.
Would you guys mind if I ask Spencer a question right quick? Spencer, you're all in the, you know more than us when it comes to like Atlus and everything. Why the fuck hasn't Persona 4 Golden on consoles happened yet?
I've taken off the,
The
black
Vita.
frost. I've taken off the black mask of silence. So that goes back to what I was saying earlier. Of the port's basically done. The port house has just been waiting for the basic approval of. They don't want to sell 4 without 3 being available.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole thing of it is look at what they did with last year's Bayonetta and Vanquish sale. So basically, Bayonetta was on Steam, Vanquish was on Steam. They sold it for $20 for years, and then they finally put it on consoles together. And instead of doing it like you could buy it a la carte if you want, but they made a retail package for
Makes
$40.
Verse together, yeah.
So that's basically the whole reason. Like the port could have come out last year. They just wanted to sell it as an anniversary set. So now I go back into silence.
So is it FES or portable though? Before you go back into silence.
Oh, okay, sorry, I'm out of the silence room. So I literally have talked to people with it. I just haven't asked because like I know that available information isn't like super available, and honestly, I kind of want to have something to be surprised about because I've known about the 3 thing being done forever. I had no insider information just because I would like to be surprised on some things, but for the most part with it, I've like the only thing I've heard about it is it's the one that makes the most sense, which to me in developer knowledge means the one that's the cheapest to make, which I keep thinking it's going to be 3. Because
well, that's how Nintendo made their Switch OLED. It's cheap as shit. But.
Well, yeah, but I mean, even with the port though, just because
Not wrong.
I know more people have nostalgia for 3. I think though making an HD 4K PSP game is infinitely easier than trying to make a PS2 game that would actually take fine tuning. Because there's so many more bugs they would introduce trying to make P3 modern, whereas P3P is still modern by today's standards.
Oh, whoa.
The laziest
So you
one.
think it's going to be portable?
Yeah.
On the collection? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Portable
always
doesn't
had, like,
exist.
My bet was like P3 FES with party control and
Super
for
short.
them giving me
I
the
think
more,
that's a good. I think
It's
that's a
gonna be
good
too much
thing
work.
because many of you who may know, if you do feel the same way, and since we can curse, fuck the answer.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
Fuck the answer.
Yeah.
What about fuck
as a
P3?
long-time Persona 3 fan, I can tell you, yeah, fuck the answer.
But also, fuck P3P for the Ken storyline too.
Wow.
Oh, for the PMC related part.
Had to bring it up, King.
I have to. It should not come out. I'm
King
telling you,
Teddy.
it doesn't
King
exist
Teddy.
because of that reason.
Maybe that's why
No,
Mother
they
3
made
doesn't
PMC
exist in the
canon
West.
with PQ2.
PQ2 is not canon.
Remember, Chris. Everything's canon. This podcast is canon.
It is.
Well, I mean, that's what 343 did with Halo. Everything is canon, and now they're going to be screwed with that TV show that's not canon.
The Showtime one or the one with Locke?
Showtime one is not canon.
Oh, that's fine. Everyone
they said it's
forgot
its own offshoot thing. So, I mean, I would be okay if that never came out. You heard it here first. I'm okay if the Halo TV show never comes out.
I forgot
that
that
TV
was
show
a thing.
comes out. Yeah, I forgot about it too.
So, anyways, what about you, David? What's the Persona 25 collection?
Well, I think you guys covered specific releases, but I want to hear what you think about my little theory that I've been thinking about for a while now. You know how they like
Back to the theory up.
restreamed the past few music concerts for Persona?
Yeah,
I think they're kind of hyping up Persona 25th concert that we'll get in September, and they're probably going to reveal those announcements at that concert. It's just theory. I don't know anything. I think it just makes sense with how they've been revealing stuff recently for Persona, and also the fact that they're restreaming. Well, they restreamed past concert a few months ago, so for those reasons, I think it makes sense. But everything that you guys mentioned, P4 on consoles, P3 on Steam, stuff like that, yeah, makes sense.
Question for everybody here before we move on from the concert thing. Do you guys think we're gonna have to pay for the Persona concert, like with the Shin Megami Tensei concert?
Yes.
Because we didn't pay
100%.
last time for the Persona concert.
I'd pay for it. I'm simp like that though.
For the Persona concert,
we'll have to pay for it for sure. It won't be free.
No, he meant he would pay for it, kiddo.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not asking if you will pay for it.
No, the 2019 one. The 2019 one was free, right?
Yeah, because
it was a live
watched
concert.
It
It was like a real event in Japan, but the stream was free.
Right. But now that COVID is kind of like coming back up, they're probably gonna have a real event opposed to having a digital event.
Possibly.
That's also possible. Persona 5 Ultimax, I could see that happening.
Definitely.
What about
I can see
a
it
Persona
possible.
Q collection for Switch?
I don't see it happening.
No,
Not a
gonna
Q
happen.
collection.
No.
Nah, that's not happening.
I don't
Q's
think
staying
Atlus
on the
is planning-
3DS
That's
forever.
too much work.
Atlus is never gonna. Here's what I'm calling right now. Atlus has no idea what they're doing with Etrian Odyssey because Nintendo decided not to release a 2-screen handheld.
I think Persona Q3 is more likely than a Q1 and 2 collection.
I don't get the lack of 2 screens. You can put those games on a 1 screen with no problem.
I'm not saying you can't.
Juggle the map on screen.
Saying,
it works super well. Like check out.
I'm saying as of right now, Atlus has no idea what they're doing with Etrian Odyssey yet on the Switch.
Probably, but the games would work.
It would take effort to figure it out, and if you see anything that Atlus has done within the past, year or two with remasters, it's that they tried to do the least amount of work as possible. So,
of course. Like we all saw Nocturne HD.
We all played Nocturne HD.
Yeah, we all went through it.
Spencer, you've been quiet now for quite some time. What's Persona 25 going to be?
Unveil the words.
I mean,
I've
said this a couple of times, but I mean, we've all kind of covered it for the most part. So the only thing I will kind of dip my hat into, everything I've been told that kind of hints to this, sadly not Cubivore, is that the Etrian team is using Q1 and 2 as a building block for what they want to do on the Switch in the future, and sorry, I shouldn't say Switch, on modern consoles, because everything I've been told means that if they brought Q over, they would just bring it to everything, which makes sense. There's no reason to keep it Nintendo exclusive.
Definitely.
So the whole kind of like building theory is they're going to re-release 1 and 2 with quality of life improvements, and then the sad that this is like the grandest plan possible, but the grand plan with is basically if they did that, then they'd finally give 2 a dub, which it never got famously. So like I think that would be good of like charge that of like make that like a $40-$50 thing. Other than that, I've said that watch it be 60. But like those 2 games, whether you love them or hate them, I think those are a good enough thing of like here's an anniversary project where it leans into a large aspects of the series, and we're bringing over games in a port that is cheap but makes sense, because all of those models from Q, basically as part of Royals DLC, they had to put them into HD. Yeah, and so like they were able to make that software scale pretty well just because of how stylized all the models were, which is nice. Like there's actually very little 2D assets in Persona Q. It's a very 3D heavy 3DS game.
Yeah, and honestly, the that makes sense because the chibi art style translates to HD very easily. Final Fantasy 15 mobile.
Oh, that Pocket Edition, man.
My theory, I guess Spencer kind of threw a fireball in my snowman, but basically that was a weird metaphor. Anyways, I think the most likely scenario, forgetting that I just learned about this Persona Q idea, was that maybe they would bring over the Persona 1, 2, and then maybe finally give us the PSP translation of Eternal Punishment. Maybe.
The problem with that idea is
That'd
like
nice.
That's such a slam dunk of an anniversary idea.
That they're not gonna do.
The immediate roadblock that comes up though, and like people talk about it a lot, because like think about what an easy win this would be. Called the Persona Origins Collection, 1, 2 Innocent Sin, 3, 2 Eternal Punishment, all the PSP ones, add a couple of small changes to it, super 4K, great job, awesome. The only problem with that is they have no one to make it, and I don't think they care enough to outsource it.
I'm pretty sure there's people that they could find on the internet that want.
There are people they could.
Sega went to Matthew Whitehead or whatever his name is, and he made Sonic Mania the best Sonic game in the past 30 years.
Well, no, to be fair, the Sonic Mania team came to Sega to do that, but like the whole thing with it is like Sega is very conservative with their money, and same thing goes with Atlus. So they skimp out on the projects that should be slam dunks. They cheaped out on the Golden Studio who ported. They cheaped out on the Catherine Studio port. Like they cheap out on a lot of aspects. And so something like an Origins collection is a win for fans, but that's not a win. Like that's not like no one's expecting a Origins collection like that to sell even half of what Persona 4 Golden did on Steam. It's just like that's a labor of love project.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the update in August of last year that they finally got through some of the bugs in the fan translation?
Yep.
So I'm pretty excited about that. I know CJ Iwakura and his team have been working on this forever, but I'm not sure if everybody in the audience has heard about this. So there is a fan translation in the works. They've hit a lot of roadblocks, but they're making progress. And their last update was August of last year. I'm hoping for another update by August of this year, maybe.
Yeah, it's been
a minute.
Knowing the way anniversary projects work, it'll be like Trails in Final Fantasy Type 0, that when the translation is finally done, we'll get in the West, and then it'll get DMCA blocked.
Well, no, because the best part about old games is the ISOs and the ROMs already exist. They just have to release a patch file.
Right.
And I have a physical card, so like if the ISOs disappear off the internet, I still have a.
Chris, I'm going to need to see that UMD.
You want me to get it right now?
By the end of the show, I want to see that UMD.
It's coming right now.
Which one?
Okay.
Innocent Sin or the first game?
So, guys, we need to talk about how we're going to take over the show. We need to talk about.
It's already happened.
Did you say we're not taking over?
No. That could be a printed case. I need to see the UMD. Okay, now bring it to the camera. Get it nice and close. I want to get a good view of that.
Have something cooler though.
He's gonna bring out his Eternal Punishment on a hole.
I have the Eternal Punishment on PS1. I just love the updated art assets in the manual they did for this.
They're almost done with this one.
Ooh.
That's a cool one.
The most gimme of PSP games we never got. Like that is such a copy paste port, and I love that game so much, but it's such a bummer we didn't get it.
Yep.
That's great.
And wasn't it in the works too at one point?
It's sealed too.
Oh, Devil Summoner 1? Never. That literally was like a Atlus West at the time wanted to do it. Atlus Japan said, we're not going to sell that game over there. Not like, no, we don't want to. They were like, dude, that game is not going to sell in the West. So it was like...
we're like, why even bother?
Yeah, so it was ironically the opposite of the Eternal Punishment situation, where it was like everyone was begging for it, but they're like, nah, we're good, goodbye. We're on to Vita.
I don't think Strikers 2 is a thing, by the way. I don't think that's happening.
It is literally. Let the Strikers simple come out and say Strikers is literally in the top 5 best-selling Persona games, including mainline. It is one of their best-selling games of all time.
Well, I don't think that they're really going to make another one. Really?
Oh, no.
100%.
They definitely will.
I'm all about 100%.
Yeah.
So, like, what?
If they made Persona Q2 after Persona Q1 so like shit, they definitely gonna make another one.
Okay, Kuro, where's the bath salts, buddy? Persona Q1, Intel Strikers.
Where's the bath salts? My God.
Persona Q1 was the highest-selling spinoff in the series. What are you talking about? Persona Q sold amazing.
No, was I thinking of Persona Q2? That's the one that sold like crap, right?
Okay. Sold bad.
But released
on
2018.
Okay,
in 2018 on
got it
3DS.
Yeah,
They said that game for failure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no dub. That was the first part they messed up.
Yeah, no dub too. Yeah.
Or
just like Strange Journey Redux.
LaRue isn't here to talk about that.
The original Strange Journey is better than Redux. I think. Can everyone agree on that?
That's actually that is not as much of a slam dunk on opinion, but I know what you mean. There are a lot of Redux defenders.
I have only played the DS one. I haven't played the Redux one.
The new law ending is amazing. You should
I'm a fake fan.
Speaking of Strange Journey, happy birthday to LaRue's dad.
Oh yes, happy birthday to LaRue's dad.
Shout out to Strange Journey. Give it up to LaRue's dad. Strange Journey, Papa Strange.
You guys missed. I said that in the chat before we started the show. Even how did I forget to say that physically? Whatever.
Aha.
He made it in. He made it in the last hour. He's been listening.
Well, these streams go for anywhere from an hour to 2 hours max. I cut it short at 2 hours max, or cut it at 2 hours.
Every time that we have a Spencer, it's like three to 5 hours.
That's why I brought the Mask of Black Frost Silence.
Hey, we did end up one time doing a 5-hour stream with Roanoke Gaming and Wild Such Gaming. So I'm not saying never. I'm just saying not today. I haven't had enough fizzy drinks for that. Let's put it that way.
Monster energy drinks.
Got my coffee here. I'm good for the rest of the night.
Hey, what you drinking there, Chris?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yes, I would. Hey,
it's actually just a jar of Haru's forehead sweat.
No.
Gimme.
No thanks.
Okay. We're reeling this back in. Okay, so Spencer has presented Persona Q1 and 2 as a potential option. But what if Atlus went super just out there, and all of a sudden Shin Megami Tensei 9 HD remake?
That'd be ridiculous.
I agree with you, but it would not work. But I've always been on the camp of this. If 9 ever does come out, Phil Spencer will be the one to say it. There's no one else who's allowed to announce it. It has to be Phil Spencer.
I can see that. I can actually see that happening.
Is there a reason why Phil Spencer has to say it, though?
Phil Spencer has to say it because this man has brought back games like fucking Phantasy Star Online 2. If he can make Phantasy Star come back, he can make SMT 9.
But listen, he didn't really make Phantasy Star come back. He made Phantasy Star Online come back. We need Phantasy Star 5.
Yeah, but no one at Sega would be good enough to make that. Sega just now has a team that's good at making RPGs. They have not for a very long time.
SMT Imagine 2.
No,
any of you play Imagine?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If we got Shin Megami Tensei If remake,
that'd be cool to have a remake. Honestly,
I don't know. I
maybe
don't
a hot take, but I think If would be the best out of the first 3 games, like SMT 1, 2. I think If a remake would work really well.
Yeah,
because it ties in well to Persona.
Hot take. I just want Catherine.
It's Persona Zeros.
Catherine 2 is not happening. Where the fuck is Fantasy, by the way?
Good question. Very good question.
He went to buy some cigarettes.
So loud.
Cigarette.
Going to buy some cigarette.
Son, I'll be
That's
back.
pretty
I'm
high,
buying
son.
a carton of milk. We're gonna be talking about the cigarettes.
When did Towley enter the stream, guys? We'll get high.
Oh my god. Oh shit.
Like Atlas is like, finally, we don't have Hashino in these games anymore.
Well, like, I mean, let's be real. They're not gonna want to do too much this year because they're gonna be pretty nervous. Like you guys are talking about SMT5 making it too crowded, man. If I'm Atlus, I'm sweating in my boots for Monarch and Caligula too. Those games are really pushing the numbers.
What's Monarch?
Monarch. Listen, Monarch looks cool, but that's like me talking about Oninaki. Oninaki's awesome, but who the fuck knows what that is?
That's a
Monarch
good
died
point.
when they unveiled all the SMT5 stuff. Let's be for real.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying, one of those games has a PS5 port. That's how I classify if
Hey.
a game's going to be good or not.
I didn't say I
Doesn't
wasn't
have
going
the
to
white
play
box.
Don't they have PlayStation All Stars? Not All Stars. No, what's that other game? Destruction All Stars. They have
Hey,
Destruction All
PlayStation
Stars on
All-Stars,
PS5. That
let's
game's
go.
$5. Destruction All Stars is $5. The PS5.
Oh yeah. What about that other hack and slash weird game?
Godfall.
Yeah, Godfall.
It's coming
That's
on
another
PS4
piece of
now.
trash.
Yeah, it's coming
Yeah.
to PS4. It's not exclusive to PS5 anymore.
Hey, Spencer, what was
Hey.
that mobile game you were talking about before?
The three people that were playing that game are getting lonely. Okay.
Which, I mean, I didn't
They
mention
need their
one.
4 friends on PS4 to
Are
play.
you talking
You-
about the? Are you talking about the
The
Chinese
video-
one that got announced a couple months ago?
You did a video on it. Not today. We didn't talk about it today. You did an entire video on some game that's like it looks like it's almost like an augmented reality Persona game.
Oh, did I?
We get an augmented
Are you
reality
sure?
Yu-Gi-Oh game.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you were talking about a mobile game that supposedly was like a Persona.
are you talking
augmented
about
reality
Code Name X?
Yeah, that one, Codename X.
Yeah,
It
I did
almost
I did a podcast. I don't think I did a video, just because there's still
Your
not a lot.
podcasts are videos, Spencer.
That's
okay?
true. That's true. They're
I
making me
listened to it.
they're making me those 5 cents a year or whatever it is. People, you guys make money? Do you guys make money on this site? I don't know how people make money online.
Sponsorships. No, I'm just kidding.
I listen, Wendy's and Popeyes. If you see this, if you hear me, sponsor me.
I had a website reach out and said they would sponsor us when we had like 25 subs, and I was like, "Oh, this is sus. This is
G
very
Fuel.
sus."
It was G
Yo.
Fuel, wasn't it? You can say.
Yo, Raid Shadow Legends. Yo, we'll sponsor you.
Actually, I would take a raid, and why not?
Yo, I think it's like $600 or $700. I think. for
I
Raid.
will take.
Is it?
I've actually reached out to companies like that. Like when AFK Arena was doing the Persona crossover, I reached out to them being like, I need anyone in this, like kind of like my janitor conversation. I was like, I need someone to come on my show to talk about this.
Someone
They're like,
with authority.
well, you know, it was funny. They were actually really, really nice about it. The funniest thing about it was like, this is how these deals work, especially with the crossover events, like where it's like multiple IPs crossing over. They're like, oh, we'd love, because like it was someone basically like, coming up for free advertising. Like they were like, oh, we'd love to, but like we work on like a 6-month timeline of planning this out. So it was like, wow, like okay, like because I normally don't cover or talk about mobile game stuff or whatever, but I just thought like crossover was kind of interesting for it, and it was just one of those funny things of like how super out of like my like not even comfort zone, like just super how like out I am of like the mobile game world. It's like I'm could not know or not even care less, but just like I couldn't be less well versed in it.
As long as they're playable on PC, that's all that fucking matters to me.
That's the weirdest thing. When I see like mobile games that are like also on PC, I'm like, who are these people who are like, nah, dude, I gotta play Final Fantasy Brave Exvius on Steam, otherwise it doesn't count.
I have to play Kingdom Hearts Union Cross somehow.
I played that game for like 2 minutes, and I never touched it again.
Your first mistake was ever playing Kingdom Hearts to begin with.
Yes,
King
that was my
Narukami.
mistake.
No.
That was my mistake, King.
Kingdom Hearts is an amazing franchise. Just like
Is it?
SMT, just like Persona,
Is it?
just like Super Mario.
Is
Many
it?
amazing franchises, yes.
It
Yes.
was an amazing franchise. But
Well,
sadly,
Kingdom Hearts 3 was trash.
Square Enix doesn't know how to handle their own franchises.
Well,
So-
we can say the same about Final Fantasy, but at least Final Fantasy 16 looks really good.
All right, here's my final answer for Persona 25. We're gonna get the Q collection, and
No
we're gonna get
memory.
Golden. We're gonna get Golden in August as a back to school thing, and we're gonna get
Back
Q
to
in
school.
December. Are we gonna get Q in
Back to
December?
school.
It'd be like,
with
Merry
Shin Megami
Christmas, here's the
Tensei
Q collection.
Persona.
I hope they lean into that marketing, Chris. Like, it's back to school, so we're throwing a pair of glasses and a revolver in your backpack. Go to
Hey.
school, kids! Come on!
This isn't Persona 3. It's not Persona 3. It's Persona 4. Okay. You get the glasses with the mustache and the nose. That's what you get.
Hang on, that'll do it.
Actually,
also-
they really should. They really.
Do you also
should
get
do
an
it.
invite to the hotel?
No, that's DLC.
The
That's
hot springs. The
Yeah,
hot springs, guys.
DLC.
Oh my gosh. Could they not have like expanded that so much in Golden? It was like ridiculous how much hot springs action we got in Golden. I was like, my
Yo,
goodness.
dead ass though, like the post game in Persona 4 Golden is probably the best post game out of all the Persona games.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It was really good.
Yeah, it was fun.
And I actually liked the like Midnight Channel thing on Persona 4 Golden, which was pretty cool too.
Yeah,
like the
they had
trivia. Like I didn't even realize it was a thing until I got like my
Oh, yeah.
third playthrough. I was like, oh my gosh, this is pretty cool.
Like they have this.
Yeah,
Like,
I was like, this is a thing.
I was playing Persona 4 Golden, and I forgot the text bubbles could pop up and like
Yeah.
tell you what people were doing. I forgot. I was like 15 hours in when I saw that. I was like, what? And then I started seeing what other people were doing. It's like, oh, people are wasting their time with him. Yosuke, get out of here. I ain't
Oh,
hanging out with
there's.
Yosuke.
Have you guys seen this Easter egg in the PS Vita? And I'm sure
Uh-huh.
Spencer has. When it's midnight on the PS Vita and you look at the game, Teddy shows up there. Have you guys seen that?
I have no, I learned about it later, but yes, I
Yeah,
have
that's
seen it.
cool. Yeah.
Might have to test that tonight since we'll be getting off here and it won't be that far away from midnight.
Yep.
Okay, let's
trying
see.
to pull up my dead console. All of them are not charged. I don't touch them. I don't. They're all like-
What? How would you guys feel about a Q collection? Since Spencer brought this up, I think everybody needs to kind of give their peace of mind on this.
I'd
Do you
really
like the idea of
that.
having to draw the maps on a single screen on the Switch? I mean, the
I'm
other
not doing that.
half of that is, would they just make the maps draw themselves then? Like, do you take away the map drawing aspect?
I honestly think
Yes.
it's just they're gonna make a third game. I personally don't feel like they're gonna do a remake of the two games. That's just me though, but I feel like if they just go right to a third game, that'd be better. Like how Monster Hunter Stories 1 isn't on Switch, but they just jumped right to 2. Like that's just how I see it personally. I don't think they're gonna remake the 3DS games. It's a lot of work to just do that, so they might as well just make a whole new game.
Nintendo did all those Wii U ports and they work.
At 28 frames instead of 30, but they work.
David, what's your idea on this? What
I
do you
love
think?
my Switch.
I'd like
but-
to have the ports because I've never played the games, never completed them. So they're on my backlog, and they've been on my backlog for years. So
But does your DS work? Your 2DS?
Oh, yeah.
3DS?
yeah,
Oh, then-
but
then
it's
you have a
busy
way to play
playing
it.
better
He has
games.
the Shin Megami Tensei for 3DS.
Yeah,
You know,
I do.
David saying if it has Persona 3 on it, he ain't gonna touch it.
Oh man,
And Persona 3 is a good game.
it's a
You're
love-hate
fucking
thing for
lying
me.
through your teeth
Listen,
right now,
It's
god damn
like,
it.
hey, Persona 3 is a good game.
It's
Listen,
good.
Okay,
Great
now that we have it in
music.
recording,
When I'm
there's
being
good
harsh-
story
I got-
elements.
When I'm being harsh on the game, it's because we're comparing it to other ones, other
Right.
games, other Persona games. But as its own, it's not a bad game.
Yeah, but then you compare it to everything else. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
I don't know. Persona wants to exist.
Persona 1
Persona
has
thing.
better music, better characters, and a better story.
and
Except
even
the
if you,
Persona
e-
1 PSP
even
game
if
has
you
a better
compare-
story.
Persona-
The dungeon crawling
listen,
is way better.
even
too.
if you compare Persona 3 to
Dungeon
SMT
Crawl is
games,
not way
there's so many
better.
SMT
It's
games that are
first
better.
person.
It's I don't care. Tartarus, dude. What the fuck?
Tartarus is a shit show.
The
An
first
absolute shit
time
show.
that I
and then you know what they
played-
did? They're like, you know what? People love Tartarus. People love going through the slog of bullshit. So let's do it again. And the answer.
I was just about to bring this up. I'm glad that Simply Dad isn't here because he'd just be trashing P3.
It was a great video. I gave it a thumbs up because there's nothing
He
wrong
was
with
like, give it a
criticism.
thumbs up.
I like criticism. I like. When
I never
people are-
seen that
with
video.
critiques.
Honestly, he did a good video, but I'm not going to talk about it right now.
like
'Cause,
there is good things about Persona 3. Let's clarify right now. Like in my opinion, there are good things about Persona 3. Like
yes,
I said, I was talking about the
there are also
music.
bad
Some of
things.
the characters are great. Tartarus sucks. Not being able to save after going through 13 floors and getting absolutely obliterated because Mitsuru goes for Mary and Karen because you can't control the party. Like all that right there is like 4 fucking things that are a problem.
Mitsuru,
that's
hit the
my-
demon. Maren Karen.
Literally. And most of the social links, the good ones, you don't get access to till halfway through the game, if not later. Like,
and
also
this was the first
too.
time that social links were a thing.
Yeah, it was the first time, but
I feel like people don't consider that. Like that's really an issue that I have personally with the game. But at the same time, when I look back, I'm like, this is the first time they made the social links. Like, not Elizabeth. What's her name? Aegis wasn't even a social link in Persona 3.
Yeah.
She was a social link
either. Junpei wasn't a social link.
And even then, like they're not like I see a lot of flaws with the game, but I'm like, I like the game for what it is, but when you look at every Persona game, I have different issues with them for like different things. Like there's like to me, like there's no like one game that I'm like, man, this game is just nailed it in every way. Like whatever Persona 2 did with the story, then there's also detriments with like the gameplay that I don't like. Like every game has like something that I'm kind of like, yeah, there's some good stuff, but also there are some things that I can see like even as a fan, you can always admit every game has some flaws, and if you're able to recognize those flaws, then you're a good fan. I feel like to me, like you can recognize every game has some kind of issues that somebody else is gonna pick at.
Raise your hand if you played OG Persona 3.
I played Fest.
I used to have the collector's edition. I lent it to somebody and I never returned it.
Yeah, OG Persona 3 is hard for some of the wrong reasons. Some of the very wrong reasons. But I think Fest was a pretty good... And I'm actually surprised with how close Fest was released to Persona 3, the original version, that they even released the original version at all.
A fun fact of like, remember, by the time Fez was out in Japan, the Western version was barely less than 6 months old.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, with how close they were to releasing Fest, I'm surprised that they didn't just release Fest in the West, because it was like what, 1 year apart from
at that
a year
point,
and a half, I think.
Yeah, at that point though, it was like they had no idea until it was really too late, and that was just such like, not to quote The Simpsons, but like it was just such a like that's what you did at the time. If you were a JRPG, you did your expanded release a year afterwards. And it wasn't really viewed as like, oh, you're gouging the customer. It's like, listen, dude, Final Fantasy's doing it, Dragon Quest is doing it, Kingdom Hearts is doing it. Everybody's doing it, dude.
That.
And then like think about it the other way around. Like back then, especially someone who was like in the fandom a lot and like active with Fez, getting those in the West was rare. It wasn't like, oh my God, they're charging us this after launch. It was like, oh my God, we got it. Like the amount of years Kingdom Hearts fans just prayed to no one of just like, dude, we want Final Mix. We are begging for Final Mix. Like people, and myself included, imported systems just to play this game. Like those like international only releases were rough, dude.
I believe it. I mean, I've got a few games that I really wish had come over to the West. Like I'm still begging Nintendo to give us any of the Fire Emblem 3, 4, or 5 in the West complete, because Mystery of the Emblem, people don't know this, they released Shadow Dragon, but that's only one half of Fire Emblem 3, and it is the original Fire Emblem 1, and I'm still like, dude, Nintendo, you already gave us this like 3 times. We don't need this $5 NES port on the Switch. It makes no sense.
Physical.
Well, it's not even physical.
Yeah, we need
what? Well, that wasn't a real cart. There was no cart,
but it's still $50 for a physical.
Like at least Atlus hasn't done that.
Chris, it's too bad Intelligent Systems is too busy making games that aren't Fire Emblem to.
I know. I'm so angry.
Hey, WarioWare, yeah, we'll make that for you. Fire Emblem. No.
I'm buying WarioWare though. I like WarioWare.
That's the funny thing. It's like it's hard to get mad at Intelligent Systems. It's like, oh damn it, you're not making this because Paper Mario. Okay, I'll try that. I'll be like, oh, you're not making Fire Emblem.
No. I played Paper Mario. I was like, oh, you didn't make Paper Mario. What are you doing?
Paper Mario.
Because that shit was not Paper Mario. Anyone who played Origami King knows that shit was not Paper Mario.
Right, but well,
Bug Fables is Paper Mario.
But Advance Wars 1 and 2 is such a cool thing to come back.
That's really cool, yeah.
So like, I can't be that angry.
I'm excited.
About
I'm pretty salty about the lack of physical version for Fatal Frame. No.
That is
Well, no, dude. That's a Koei Tecmo decision, so I'm not surprised about that. But no, dude, they're doing a physical version for Fatal Frame. It's just
in PlayAsia,
right now. Well, they actually just confirmed Koei Tecmo is doing one in Europe, and they're doing one in Asia
so we
in
may
English.
Get one then. Yeah, I saw the Asian one, but
I'll
it's like
that out
$95 Canadian to import, so that's ridiculous.
Oh my gosh!
See, the funny thing with
I
Fatal Frame
imported
is
a ton of games from PlayAsia.
I'm sitting here with what is it? I'm sitting here like all the people who are like
Saga
Fatal
Frontier
Frame.
Remastered.
Fatal Frame people are like, oh, dude, I can't wait for Fatal Frame. But then I'm like, need the PS5 version. Even though I know they probably won't do the PS5 version physically, the fact that that's a Wii U game is coming to PS5 is just the most meta thing to me.
That is bizarre.
A Wii U game went to all our platforms last year. Wonderful 101. Look what happened.
Not PS5 though.
Well, that's because PS5 isn't even around yet.
Okay.
Wouldn't you be able to run on
that is a whole other conversation. But I will say, Wonderful 101, something like Trash, is actually only Platinum's fault. But that's just because they used Kickstarter to pre-order the game, and so they sent a bajillion copies out to retail to sit and die because everyone who wanted the game backed it on Kickstarter. So that's why that game sold like dog trash.
Maybe I'll have to go pick it up now. No,
it's really cheap. It's really, really cheap, dude.
I need to find it for $5, like they did for Starlink.
I think I paid $25 for mine, like
a
couple of months after launch. So
that's a little overpriced.
All right, so we've gotten through SMT5, whether it be overshadowed by Persona, what's a Persona 25 collection going to look like, Atlus's social media. The next question I have for you guys is, since Atlus basically only produces RPGs now, and they used to produce a wide variety of games, do you think Sega's influence has completely killed any diversity in game production that Atlus does? Because Sega does so many things, Atlus doesn't need to be all of those other genres they used to do.
I don't think so.
Or do you think Atlus has chosen to not diversify in genre of games they make?
Yeah.
I mean, they tried at times. Like we've seen games like Catherine, that's in-house and that's a.
But everybody loves Catherine, and they're not going to make another Catherine.
Yeah. Well, we don't know what Refantasy is going to. Well, we know it's going to be an RPG, but it may be like very different and very unique.
Are you going at this from them as a developer or as a publisher?
Developer.
Let's start with developer, and we can talk Disney Kitchen later.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, Disney Kitchen was made by them, man. I'm just saying.
People have been asking me to stream Disney Kitchen, though. Like dead ass. People are like, "Yo, stream Disney Kitchen." I'm like, "No."
You're strictly a Karate Kid NES man and only Karate Kid NES man.
Anyways, back to what I'm saying though. Essentially, what I'm saying is, do you think that Sega's influence over Atlus affects the diversity of games they make?
I don't think so.
I pulled up their games from like the last 20 years here. They are pretty much always kind of been for the most part, RPGs only. Like you look at their divergence, it's like Snowboard Kids mobile game, understandable. Arena,
I want Snowboard Kids.
Yeah, Arena though, like that was a fighting game but based on an RPG. You look at something like Dragon's Crown, made by another company, so technically really only published by them, even though it does say Atlus on there. For the most part, they know how to butter their own bread, which is just kind of like literally outside of Catherine. It's not that
hard to butter bread.
Outside of Catherine and not looking at third-party developed games, the only examples in the last 10 years of Atlus themselves making not RPGs are Catherine and Persona 3, 4, and 5 Dancing.
What about Trauma Center? Is there any chance those come back?
Come back? God, no. Should bring them back, yeah. No way it's happening, though.
Well, Spencer, wasn't technically Persona 4 Dancing being produced by Dingo to begin with?
It was, but they got scrapped from it, and P Studio has done so much work for it. I still count that as a P Studio game more than Dingo.
Gotcha.
So yeah, like that's just the whole thing with it of like outside of 3 dancing games and a puzzle spinoff they've ported once, it's just like one of those things of like, I get it. Like I think for the most part, people look at Atlus as the publisher, very rarely as the developer. Like people, like the amount of people who don't know something like Royal was not made by the original team is like less than 1%. And why should you, unless you're a big dumb nerd like me?
Right. I knew that. I found out just a few days ago, though. Like, I was like, oh, it was made by a different team. I didn't know that. Like, I just found out a few days ago. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Radiant Historia.
Great game.
They forgot about them too.
That 3DS port did not help those sales numbers. Let me tell you.
Hey, I don't know about you guys, but the Persona dancing games are good.
Persona
great.
4 Dancing is my favorite Persona game.
All three of them are good. I heard people talk trash about Persona 5 dancing. I expected it to be bad. All of them are good.
The
Dancing games are
easiest
not
way, this goes out to everybody. If you ever hear anyone trash on Persona 3 and 5 dancing, just go, have you played them? And you'll be amazed how often people
Yes, I played them.
I played them and they're
But I hate
No, David. The games are fire.
Nah,
They're
I'm
great.
with you, Grumps. I'm with
You
you.
hear the amazing music. Oh my God.
What amazing music is there in Persona 5 Dancing? What amazing music?
I thought you were gonna ask that question
Dude,
about Persona
he likes
3.
Kingdom Hearts. Don't give him attention.
Bro. I like all kinds of games. Not just I play everything. I play Tekken. I play Super Smash Bros. I know. You know. We know.
Listen,
you know.
this is coming from the guy
Monster
who
Hunter.
was like a huge like rhythm game fan. Persona 5 Dancing came out. They rushed that too much.
Oh,
they released it with only one game under their belt. The remixes were just like there was no variety.
Yo, most of the game was
waited.
remixes in 5 Dancing. Most of the game was remixes. I do have to give you that, and that they should have waited. But for what it is,
No, for what it is,
You know what I
which was a $60 game each at release.
well,
Nah,
dude,
man,
I didn't pay
This
$60.
was a
story.
$20.
I paid 20 for all three on my
Yeah,
PS4.
exactly.
Yeah, that's a great deal.
Exactly, VCiPz. That's what you gotta think about. This
Gotta
was
love.
asking price of $60 a
Yes,
piece.
and it's nuts.
No,
absolutely
no.
ridiculous.
They
I
made
love
those
that
games
collector's
just to sell
edition,
DLC.
Y'all know I'm still salty about this thing.
Let's reel it in. I have two more questions. I promise. So, first question. Are you guys liking the prospects of Atlus in 2021? And are they on an upswing or a downswing, in your opinion?
In what sense?
Just, I guess, in your personal opinion, your personal sense, like
Okay, you mean just in
where's
general,
your
like
opinion?
what they're
on Atlus?
releasing or their like business practice stuff like that? Because
Going up.
I think they're
What's
nailing
your
certain
overall?
aspects overall. Okay,
Your overall opinion of Atlus as a company in 2021, and
They're going
for
up.
you
Okay.
personally, are they on the upswing or the downswing?
overall, I would say they're doing pretty well in certain aspects, especially with what they're doing as far as releases goes. Like the quality of the games that they're putting out, I like it. Royal Strikers, SMT5, stuff like that. I like it, but I really don't like some of their practices, like the DLCs for Nocturne, the lack of communication with fans with certain issues like SMT5 Collector's Edition, stuff like that. Digital Deluxe, that's possibly on Sega though. I don't know if that's Atlus, but anyways, yeah, there's a lot of plus, couple of downsides too. So, but I would say overall they're doing great.
Let's go to VCiPz next. We'll go backwards order.
I think it's been really well overall for Atlus, especially like the past few years. They've been on a good roll. I want to see some good stuff more from ST5. I think if they continue rolling the ball, if some more content being shown, because I know for anyone who's been checking on their Twitter, the Japanese SMT Twitter, they've been showing new demons all the time.
That's awesome.
And I think it's great that they're at least doing that, at least like a couple clips like every day, just to give us something new to look at and to get hype. If they continue that trend with just that, as well as with the 20th anniversary, to get some good stuff shown, that'd be awesome. And they'll continue that upward trajectory, in my opinion, because Persona 5 did great, and then Royal did great. A couple other games here and there could have done better. 13 Sentinels, that game is great.
loved it.
I didn't finish it yet, though, so no spoilers. But from what I've played, it's been great. And I just think if they continue, they'll continue that upward trajectory for sure.
All right, King Narukami, where are you at? Where are you at on Atlus?
I mean, what can I say that hasn't been said already? I mean, it's looking good for them. I'm kind of wary about the 25th anniversary announcements. I wish they would be more. I think that goes into communication. If they had more communication with us, and if they stop all these leaks that they've had recently, P5 Strikers leaked early for them. I think a Nocturne trailer leaked early as well. If they can keep everything under wraps and have better communication with their fans, I think they'll have an amazing rest of the year, but they need to work on that. That's just my opinion, though.
The game's going to probably leak 3 weeks early. You know that, right?
Probably.
and I'm hoping to have the Switch OLED by then, because that's I'm hacking the shit out of that OLED.
Why are you buying that?
Just to hack it though, just to hack it. Literally, dead ass, just for that. Because then I can have GTA 5 on my Switch and have it look good, unlike on the regular Switch where it wouldn't.
Spencer, what about you, Alice? 2021.
I know it's the same fidelity of graphics and all that between the Switch and OLED. I'm just busting chops. I love my Switch. It's my favorite console, but like, man, I need it. I need
to represent.
So I would say, and this is me, I want to classify, just because God forbid I ever give the simple answer. I'm saying this as a coming answer of Atlus Sega as a publisher, just because they're all the same to me. I think this is weirdly one of their most diverse years as a publisher, but as a developer is going to be a really quiet year outside of SMT5. SMT5 is obviously a big one, but a lot of third-party stuff they're doing, I think, is interesting. I was genuinely shocked they're doing the Demon Slayer game. That's going to be huge for them. Mm-hmm. That's going to just destroy in sales. CyberConnect makes really quality stuff. That IP could not be fucking hotter. Like, even if you're not a Demon Slayer fan, like, that movie made so much money.
Mm-hmm.
Did it make the most money so far this year for a movie of its caliber?
No, that's like a Chinese movie. I forgot the name of it. I was just talking about that recently. No, but it's like up there.
Still like the best-selling animated movie.
It is not only it is not only the most profitable animated movie now. It beat out Spirited Away, but it is also the now highest-grossing R-rated movie in the country. Like,
really?
It overtook Deadpool.
You love to see it.
But yeah,
that's a fun fact.
But the other stuff though is like weird ones of like I think kind of talking about how you were mentioning, it's the 25th anniversary or whatever. I'm looking at it like this. Let's go back to what they're doing for Sonic. Sonic is a huge IP for them. Allegedly. Their development does not say that.
Yes.
But it is a huge IP for them. And the 30th anniversary of Sonic is getting a single Wii port that can't even be bothered to be put on to next gen. Let this sink in. Monkey Ball is getting a next gen port. Sonic is not. That's the world we live in. What a
I never thought about that.
Decision.
Wait. Colors PS5. Isn't coming to PS5? Wait.
Nope.
What? When? Since when? I always thought that it was still coming to PS5.
It is not. It's not. It'll be backwards compatible, but no, they're like, dude, it's a Wii game. What else are we gonna do? Throw it in 8K? Like, what can I do here? But then
I just want Sonic Heroes HD.
Sonic Heroes is a good Sonic game.
Yeah, good game.
The thing I will say though is then I think Atlus as a publisher is going to have a boring year if you don't have a Switch or care about SMT5. But when you look at them as a collective, like, they're having a really strong ass fall. Like, just look at what is this, like 5 releases, if not like 6. So we have, where's my hand? We have, I think this is in release order.
Your hand's right there.
Lost Judgment, big win. That's going to be a huge win. I'm a little worried it's gotten rushed development through a lot of stuff I've heard behind the scenes. But I think if it's a solid game, it's a solid game. Mm-hmm. Sonic Colors, not a great game, but it's going to sell really decently, and they've got the cute fucking Sonic movie plushie tie-in.
It is the best 3D Sonic in the past 20 years.
It's, again, really low bar, guys. Number 3, yeah. Monkey Ball.
Not wrong.
That is just the winnest win that series can do. They released the trashiest game in the series, and then they're releasing 3 of the best in the series.
And how many games are in there? There's like 7 games in there,
No, it's 3. They did a weird job with the trailer. It's just 1, 2, and Deluxe, but it's still like over 500 levels or something.
The best games.
Yeah, so the other thing with it, so after Monkey Ball, there's then Demon Slayer and then SMT5. So even if they don't do anything else outside of those, all 5 of those games are like guaranteed money makers.
Fair.
Allegedly.
So you're feeling good about Atlus is what you're saying.
I'm feeling good about the company in terms of like they're making smart moves, but they're not exciting moves. Like, you know, like they're gonna make money at the end of the day, but they're not going to like the only really exciting game they really have, like, and this is no offense to something like Lost Judgment. Lost Judgment, you know what that is going into it. Like, they can kind of show new features like karaoke, the high school, like the dog. Like, that stuff's fun for Twitter for a day. But really, if you didn't care about Judgment, you're probably not going to care about Lost Judgment. But, like, that's fine. They know their market. They know what they're, like, marketing to. SMT5 is the only game out of that's going to have the ability to just suck in a huge swath of people who would never touch it otherwise.
All right, Kuro, where are you at on Atlus for 2021?
I think they had a really strong year already. Like, sure, like I mean, like the last since 2016, it's just we just have continuous releases for Atlus. Like every year, we get a new game, whether it's like a Persona game or a port or something. But we're really continuously like getting games, which for a small, still relatively small Japanese studio, I guess you want to say it like that, it's still pretty good stuff. Like I remember being a fan back in the day and waiting for a long time for anything, even news and everything. And I feel like just kind of seeing it nowadays, like it's just gonna get bigger. Is it better in all aspects? No, I think a lot of the points that David made pertaining to the practices that they do and some of the things that they have done so far, it does get me worried. Like I was super worried about them doing a digital release for digital deluxe release for Shin Megami Tensei 5, which we're still not in the clear. The game has like 3 months to go, 4 months to go.
That's not happening. There's Nintendo has said there's no way that's happening.
Yeah.
And if you want, and I know like it makes sense because Sega and Atlus do that shitty digital deluxe thing. That is a Nintendo thing they are stopping, and because they are a publisher in the rest of the world, in Europe and PAL regions, they just straight up won't let won't do it.
Nintendo does this thing where they like to put their foot down, like a lot. Like doesn't matter what it is. Like, oh look, little Timmy wants to make his own little Mario game for his friends to play for his school, for his middle school class. Foot down, $1 million. Pay up, Timmy. Rest of your life and your ancestors' generation.
The only thing Nintendo's okay with is if you make it for yourself and yourself only.
And you don't show it on any social media.
You can show it on YouTube. You just can't distribute it. And there's a couple channels that do that. They show it and they never distribute it. And they have not gotten in trouble yet. Let's put it that way. I think we lost Narukami.
We'll hear about that.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, he's back.
Right,
he's back. Okay.
Welcome back.
Kuro, finish your thought process though.
Back from the shadow
remember
Alice,
what I was
or either
anymore.
Then let's start over from the beginning. Where are you at, Atlus 2021?
Oh yeah. I think I'm doing a good job so far. My concern just being like the business practices, but other than that, I mean, like it's only gonna get better from here on. I mean, depending on how well Shin Megami Tensei 5 goes, we may even get some more ports for other games. We haven't even seen numbers for Nocturne, but I'm willing to bet we still got some good sales.
Sorry. Let me break that for you. No, dude, Nocturne sold like trash in the West. Like really bad.
Really?
Like it actually sold worse than their lowered expectations. The only reason it made the only reason it broke even was because of how well it had like legs in Japan and Asia. Like it sold weirdly better in Asia than expected, and fucking was like the Heisenberg of JRPGs. Released at a terrible time, was too much, and that's like again it goes back to my thinking. This game has done really, really bad if after less than 60 days it's already almost half off. And there you go. Less than 60 days, we've already seen it on sale for $25 and $30.
Maybe we should have launched at $29.99.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, sorry to interrupt, but yeah, just not a lot because you don't get those sales numbers, it's harder to get for. But yes, it is sold very bad.
Yeah, so I was wondering about that. Really, I was like, how did that game? Because they really like to brag when something is selling really well. They'll they really do. They like show the graphics and big numbers and everything like that. But we
Persona for a Golden sold 500,000 in a month.
I mean, they even got Sojima to do some cute art for it or whatever. So I was like, how did this game sold? Like we didn't hear anything about the game just released and then like it just kind of died. Like I never heard anything from anybody.
It came and went.
I don't know if you guys cover. I mean, I know David does videos like I do kind of regularly, but I saw like a decline or like views on like Shin Megami Tensei 3 videos. Like suddenly like it was good for like the month, but then after that like it just stopped. Like I just stopped getting views on those videos, which is kind of funny I think. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear anything about it, so I was just curious how that went.
All right, so final answer though. Atlus 2021 good, bad, ugly, or spectacular?
Spectacular.
Good.
Okay. So here's where I'm at. I think that Atlus has done some good things. I'm excited about Shin Megami Tensei 5. I'm a little sad about the state of SMT 3 HD. But I think overall, rolling into a potential amazing Project RE Fantasy, which I'm still looking forward to what that's actually going to be, I think Atlus is on the upswing and they're in a good spot. That's my personal opinion. So my last thing I want to do is I want to pitch to you guys what I think Atlus should do, but they probably won't. I would love to see if Netflix threw money on the Avatar project to Atlus to make a Avatar RPG with like Atlus turn-based combat.
I'm sad I need to do this. Are we talking James Cameron or Nickelodeon?
Yeah,
Nickelodeon. Definitely. I don't care about James Cameron's.
Honestly, I'll be honest with you, Chris.
RPG.
I thought you were talking about Avatar Turner, which is like the Shin Megami Tensei game. And I was like,
no. I want.
Like a
I
sequel
thought
to those
you were
games?
talking about like getting like a series on Netflix, like SMT if
Yeah,
the Netflix adaptation
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
soon.
I
I'm
thought
not
you
gonna
were
lie.
talking about like
If Atlus somehow did a timeline Historia type book for the Persona series that tied the series together, I would buy it.
Like a real compendium, but
A
a
real
compendium for the
compendium.
series.
Like how Nintendo did for Zelda. But in reality, though, what would you guys do if like Persona 25 it just turns out, hey guys, we made an anime for Persona 1, 2 Innocent Sin, and 2 Eternal Punishment.
I
Have at it.
think a Persona 5 Royal anime is more likely to people to give credit.
Well, yes, I'm just saying that
5 Royal
what
anime.
what if they?
Spencer's face.
Listen, I hate
Anyways.
the Persona 5 anime, but they're gonna do a Persona 5 Royal anime. They made a golden anime for no reason. The Persona
I'm
4
sorry,
anime
I
is
just
great.
opened
Then
Pandora's
they made the
box
gold-
there.
Yes, you did.
I meant to say though, how would you guys feel about using the Persona 5 engine to make an Avatar: The Last Airbender game? Can you imagine exploring that world as Aang?
Can
That'd
I
be
give
so
you can I
cool.
give you like the sad realistic answer? And I'm not gonna say no just because no they never work with the IPs. It's no because that engine that P5 is made in is really old and really shitty to develop with.
Yeah, by now,
Really?
like I think it's starting to get to the point.
they dropped
where
it
it's-
already, Chris.
Remember, they made that engine with PS3 360 in mind.
back then.
Yeah, and it has a lot of constraints. It's not easy to develop, and it has really bad like loading and issues with it. It's not optimized. It's
Are
never.
they going to leave an
been
engine they
optimized.
just created behind?
Yeah, they already did.
What do you mean leave it behind? They did.
It was 13 years ago.
Yeah, they
just
did
started making
Catherine.
Catherine. Like
Yeah, they did Catherine full body.
that's a long time
P5.
ago.
Oh, okay.
and
I'm
P5R.
saying in regards to game engines, though, like 10 years is nothing.
They are never.
They've
They're
been
never
working
touching
on
the
Unreal
P5
Engine for.
They are
SMT5,
never.
so.
They are never
Fair.
touching the P5
Fair
engine
enough.
ever again.
Yeah,
I
they're
don't
not.
think their. I don't think their next stuff will be UE. I think that really depends on how they feel coming out of 5's launch. But that's just because literally, and I don't know if you guys knew this, or this is like a weird thing, but when they announced 5, there was an Unreal 4 showcase shortly after. Basically, the reason 5 is made in Unreal 4, Nintendo's like, we will be a big push in this game and we will be a partner in this game, but Epic is paying us to get a big UE4 Switch exclusive, and we are giving money to 2 teams, and you guys have to make this game. One was easy because it was a port, Dragon Quest 11, slam dunk, whatever, do your
It
thing.
was great.
And the second was this. So Nintendo and Epic have dumped a lot of money into that engine being what they made this in.
Okay, but let's take a step back here. Avatar: The Last Airbender using Persona mechanics or
Mechanics, sure. Mechanics for sure. Yeah, like design philosophies and teams, 100%.
I think that
That'd
could
be
work really well.
very well.
That'd be cool.
Do we have Kora though? Is there hope
No.
for Kora?
You want both Korra and Aang, or you want?
See, I
just-
feel like with Avatar, I'm in this weird state of like I never know like which one I'd want to go back to more because I love both worlds so much. So that's why like I feel like making a new thing like they're doing right now, I'm like, man, that's not gonna be like so hard. Of like I feel like there's so much baggage to both series from like the expanded universes. It's like I kind of feel like it would almost be more safe and more fun to just be like, fuck it, just skip ahead 100 years again and start over.
And do another new Avatar. I mean, they could do that too. I'm just thinking like how cool that universe would be because it is that cell shaded. And cell shaded with Atlus mechanics would be amazing.
What about genre? Do we just go traditional JRPG or do we mess around?
Action.
I think you could either do striker. You could do strikers style.
No, not strikers. That's warriors.
See, I was no, we can't get it. We can't get into that debate. I always feel like
it's gotta be like Kingdom Hearts. It's gotta.
Did you guys play Scarlet Nexus? Any of you guys play Scarlet Nexus?
Bruh.
Shut up, King. You fucking like Danganronpa. Nobody cares about you.
I hear.
Hey, Danganronpa is a lot of fun when you're drunk.
That's not. Oh, when you're drunk.
Hey, all right. Pause for a second. My last question was based on that was what would your dream game to pitch to Atlus be? Let's say you're in front of the board of Atlus and they're like, hey, pitch your idea. What is it? David, you start.
Hey, boy.
Good. I'm gonna need like a minute to think.
Yeah.
If I ask Spencer, then that's the end of the show. So I'm going to wait till I ask Spencer till the end.
Oh, that's really hard to say. I want to, I guess Re Fantasy's that, but a new IP with traditional stuff that Atlus does well, turn-based RPG, different setting, just different, something completely new, just like Catherine. I'd like that.
Obviously, Demicro wants Jack Bros remade, so there's that. But VCiPz, what's yours?
I definitely didn't have enough time to think of one, but something that did pop in my head. King Narukami would like this. It'd be an RPG Yu-Gi-Oh game.
They did that already on the GameCube.
No, but did Atlus?
Yes,
do it?
and that's a good one too.
I like that one.
Wait,
good one.
Atlus did make a, wait, is that's a real thing?
That's not made by Atlus though, but it's a good game. Yeah, it's an RPG.
I never played.
No. But did Atlus make?
No, Atlus
no.
That's all that matters.
Okay, fair enough. All right,
because like I played some Yu-Gi-Oh games back in the day. Like the only one I played recently is Legacy of the Duelist, and that shit sucks. I play like the whoa, that shit sucks. Narukami,
no, fuck you, dude.
No, Legacy of the Duelist, you gotta grind 80 hours to pull the game. Cards.
Oh my god!
Yeah, instead you could be like everyone else, which I finally coordinated you into playing on PC. Where you can just pull any card you want.
That works.
It works all the time, except for once in a while when you don't know the fucking password to the lobby.
Now, my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh game ever, let's be real, was Forbidden Memories.
That's a good game. Very good game.
Let's go back. All right,
really hard.
King, aside from the GTA hot coffee mod with
Kawakami, yeah.
What would be your ideal Atlus game? Now he's thinking about the hot coffee mod. He's trying to remember what it is.
Damn it, that's all I can think about now.
No. He needs a VR game where he sits in Haru's car with her as she drives, and you just and the whole VR game is just sitting there. That's it. You just listen to her, you talk to her. Narukami, you'd love it.
Y'all just hating on the simp over here.
No, King, what's your ideal game?
Might as well be King Simpakami.
Honestly, it's hard to say. I would love a new Devil Summoner game. I would love a new game, but
give us the first one first, though.
Yeah, that's true. But I would love a new Raito game. I would also love Catherine too. Just saying.
I have seen these awesome renders that show up on Katsuya's Twitter timeline, and I agree. It would be interesting to see an Atlus character in the Halo universe, but it'll never happen.
Do you guys think we'll see Bayonetta in SMT5?
I would love to.
Me too.
Please.
We need it.
Sega,
speaking of characters in SMT games, someone get Sonic out of the fucking SMT universe.
Get him out of the universe?
Yes. What
if he's in SMT5? What if they have Sonic and Bayonetta?
Then I'm throwing that shit out of my window.
And you get both of them in your party?
Spencer, what's your...
Did do a...
For Sonic's 30th anniversary, he's in SMT5.
Oh my gosh. Spencer, what's your pitch?
I'd jump off a building.
So my pitch is it's actually a pretty short one, and I've had this for a while. This is like my dream project. So I want specifically the 5 team. Once they're done with this, I go to the Atlus overlords and I say, I want you to make your next game is going to be your biggest project, and it's an adaptation, similarly to with the original Megami Tensei. I want them to make all 5 volumes of Avatar Tuner in SMT style as a video game. Because I think Quantum Devil Saga is already an amazing story and would just translate to a game so well. It would have one of the best casts they've ever had. The hard work of designing the world is there. Yu Godai is still alive and could help make and expand upon the world in a meaningful and interesting way. And it would give those really, really hardcore like fans like us who remember Digital Devil Saga, like, hey, guess what? If you like, I always tell people this: if you fucking love Digital Devil Saga and say, "Where's the next game from that?" This is DDS2 basically. It is the spiritual successor to Digital Devil Saga. Hence why it is called Quantum Devil Saga.
Might have to ask Spencer for some links to check that out. All right, Kuro, what's your pitch?
So because a lot of people, you guys already kind of said some things that I would like to see. I kind of want to think outside of the box a little bit. I would like to see them. You guys know Capcom in like the mid 2000s, they tried to get a lot of their properties being made by Western studios, like Devil May Cry or Resident Evil. They really wanted to get to like the Western. So what if they did it backwards and get some Western games like Halo or BioShock, which is one of my favorite games of all time, and it was adapted within like a Japanese studio, like turn-based style or something like that.
Yeah, like what if there's a Halo turn-based game?
Yeah, exactly. So like Gears, you know, Gears had like
it's really good. It's a really good game actually.
I played it. That's why I was thinking about it. So like, what if they did like a take on already like a big Western franchise, but in like a turn-based anime style RPG? Like that would be pretty cool.
Well, they should, if they're going to do that, they do the Swords of Sangheili and do like a Covenant Planet game where you play as the aliens.
Oh, you know what we need? I thought of it. Scratch that. We don't need Yu-Gi-Oh. We need Yu Yu Hakusho Atlus RPG. That is what we need.
I'm here for it.
That is what we need.
I'm down.
Actually, the one series that has been adapted to gaming in the past and never done well is Beyblade.
No, there was a couple GBA games. GBA Beyblade was good. GBA Beyblade when they first started. I remember playing that all the time as a kid. Using the Beyblade, going through the little area, trying to make it to the end. Because that's literally what it was. It wasn't even actual Beyblade.
I'm pretty sure the Beyblade fans were picked on during school.
I got my Beyblade stolen, then I beat the kid up and he got suspended. So don't fuck with me, my Beyblades.
All right. Well, on that note, so I'm trying to conclude this in the next like 5 minutes. So I'm going to give you guys each a chance to, if you have anything else you want to say about Atlus, now's the time to say it. David, anything?
Looking forward to SMT5 in November. 2021 is a good year for me.
Mr. VCiPz?
We're definitely going to get something for Persona's 25th anniversary in September, but I think December something could happen. Something.
King?
I mean, it's happened in September. Just put Persona 4 Golden on consoles already, god damn it.
Spencer?
At least it's not Persona 3.
Atlus, get that janitor on my fucking podcast.
Oh my god. Girl.
I just want to like welcome everybody, like all the people that I've seen, like a lot of more new like Shin Megami Tensei fans and Persona fans.
Right.
And I feel like I remember even a few years, not even that way back, because I haven't been a content creator for too long, but like I've really seen like a big jump in like a lot of new people. Is it? And I know like a lot. It's easy to kind of dismiss like the Persona 5 fans or whatever, but like at the end of the day, like it made a community bigger, and I always welcome like having new people to like chat and discuss about games, because it's where at the end of the day we're just all nerds. Like we're just like we're talking about like anime character games, you know, like it's like
God, I'm such a failure.
So we're not like specifically like the coolest kid on the block or anything like that. But yeah, welcome to like everybody. That I just appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah, and I just want to take a quick little minute here. If any of y'all in the chat are not subscribed to any of these gentlemen, I'll show you how to get here. So the Midnight Channel, all you gotta do is search the Midnight Channel, and you can tell exactly which one's Kuro. So go and subscribe to his channel. And then Spencer, obviously, y'all know him as SMT Network on Twitter, but Spencer Presley is what he goes by on YouTube for reasons. Definitely
man,
check.
Branding is not. Look at my name. Hold on, where am I? Look at my name. You see that?
Spencer.
That's who I am. I'm not a network. The community is the network.
Fair enough. DavidCast Jrpgs, you can find him easily. Go subscribe to his channel too.
Yeah, look at all those.
Always love
playlists
having
I don't
David
make.
on here.
I've got
David
the
is killing
messiest
it.
channel. What is going on?
6.4K. Good for you, man.
Thank you.
Well, hold on. We got that side channel. You got to get those side
Oh,
channels going
fair
on.
enough.
Yeah, please,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yeah.
And Kuro has multi-channels too. We got that. how do you pronounce that? I'm so bad.
Kamurocho Bros.
Kamurocho Bros. And look, he's got everybody linked here. I don't even have to
And look,
search
there's
anymore.
me. There's me at the end.
Who's that? No,
Too.
Is that LaRue's dad? Happy birthday, LaRue's dad!
We did that
I was
already. We
Lou's
did that
dad.
already. I'm gonna pin the comment on this podcast. It'll say whoever writes "Happy Birthday, LaRue," you get the pinned comment on this video. Or "Happy Birthday, LaRue's dad." Holy cow!
Happy
It's not
birthday,
LaRue. It's not
LaRue's
LaRue's
dad.
birthday. Yeah, if you
Not yet.
type "Happy Birthday, LaRue's dad," you get the pinned comment. All right, that's the deal. All right, so yeah, you got David. Definitely check out David's channels. He's a cool dude. Love having David on. Everybody else here too. It's
Always a great time on your show.
VCiPz. You can search these VCiPz, but if you
Yo,
go to David's channel,
You gotta
Let's go
use
to
the
David's
Z.
channel.
Let's
You gotta
go,
use the
baby.
see. You gotta use the Z though, not the S, or else.
what did I
that's
say?
gonna
Did I put an S on that?
Yeah.
No, I got a Z there. That's a Z. I typed
Oh,
it right.
no, but the other
IT.
Z. There's two Z's.
Oh, my bad. All right.
Yeah.
So it's VCiPz Gots. Wow, I'm talking really horribly now. He's got two channels. Go check him out on both. Subscribe to both. I didn't subscribe to this one yet. Whoops. Finding out live that I'm not subscribed to people is always a fun treat.
Oh man.
But subscribe to him too, and then the King joined us. 407. Let's get him to 1,000 sometime here
Hey.
soon.
VC
Cool
hit
dude.
over
Thank you.
400.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
And if you're not subscribed
Bravo.
to the Krillcast, I'm not sure why you're watching this stream at all. But there's
Gotta
that.
hit
Will
that
fans.
subscribe
A lot of
button,
Will
come
fans
on.
in chat today.
Yeah, Will fans. That's true. Subscribe here too. We just hit 1,010 today. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Love seeing that thing grow.
Crowcast episode 10 hitting 1,010.
I'll say this. I'll put
It's live episode 10. I just want to reiterate. We have like over
Live.
500 videos. So
I
awesome.
want to put a challenge out there right now. I don't know if anyone wants to clip this, put this on like 4chan, wherever videos go. If this video can do in a week, if we can get this to over the view count of Chris Raygun's episode and the other guest, I'm sorry, I forgot his name. If we can get this over last week's episode in terms of views before next week's episode, I will do. Let's see. I will. You know what? I'll do this. I'll make a challenge. If we can get that video over that, I will fly out wherever Chris and Will live, and we will do a live episode in person.
good luck. I mean, Chris actually didn't share that video at all. All of those views. I think all of those views came from Late Night Gaming sharing it on his channel.
Dang, dude. All right. Nobody share it to Chris. It's a competition we don't need. After the week, we can get Chris to share it for it. But yeah, it's by the way, that was a great episode. I really enjoyed listening to you guys talk about that.
Well, good. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I wasn't sure if you were sarcastic. I was going to invite you on to talk Halo, but you kind of were. Your comment in the chat was like kind of made me think you were being sarcastic.
Oh no, seriously. I am the most interested I could possibly be about Halo without ever actually having finished a campaign. I think that series is. I think that
you never
series
played any
is.
of the campaigns and finished them?
I've only ever like messed around with it, but like I love talking about it. I love talking about like the lore. I've like even read like Halo books before. It's just I've never actually owned a system to beat them on. But, like my plan is
campaigns are a lot of fun in co-op. You ever try them in co-op? That's always a lot of fun.
Yeah,
that's the way to do it.
I'm gonna get a Series X. I'm gonna campaign co-op all of them and just gonna have a blast.
Yeah.
Side note: I just actually bought a Series X physically at a store.
Well, that's because you can find those at the store. You can't find PS5s at the store.
Yeah,
I bought it because Will really wanted me to go find one. I've seen him 1,000 times, and Will's like, "Hey, pick one up next time you're there." And I was like, "Okay, Will." So I did.
Might as well.
I'm here. It's here. I'll buy it. All right. So thank you all for being here. I really appreciate all of you being on this podcast to talk about Atlus. As somebody said in the beginning, like, how do you get all these people on here? Well, we're just all friends, guys. That's what it is. We're all friends.
And e-begging. A lot of e-begging.
E-begging. What? E-begging?
I saw free the VNips.
I thought you were going to say 10,000 views on this video, and I was going to be like, Spencer, share it on your community tab.
Oh, no. I bet 10,000 through Streamlabs split between the 6 of us. It's the only way VNips is out.
All right.
For anyone who saw that in the first minute of the stream, you could refresh the page, then rewind to the beginning of this episode, and then you can watch the whole thing again and add another view. Yes. So we do hit enough views.
There you go.
Yes,
Spencer, I'm going to buy the views to beat the Chris Raygun episode. Right. That way you have to. No, I'm just kidding.
This is you know what this will be the if it doesn't happen, then whenever is most convenient, I am forcing you and Will to then digitally come on my show.
I have offered to come on your show like 1,000 times, Spencer.
You're a busy man. You've got children on each teat. People can't see under the camera. You just got both kids just hanging on there. So
underneath the shirt too.
Yeah, they're like hanging in there like little acorns hanging.
I want to do a VitaCast with you. Let's make it happen. All right.
We'll do every show. We'll do every show.
As always, I am Chris from the CHRILLCast.
I'm Kuro with the Mina channel.
I'm missing Will a lot.
I'm King Narakami.
It's VCiPz.
David.
And happy birthday to LaRue's dad. We'll sign this one off that way. Thank you all for watching. Please consider subscribing, liking, and checking everybody out. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Peace.